So I'm over in California, right?
Okay.
And right now we're having an issue with trans women wanting to participate in women's sports.
Okay.
Now, let me ask you, how do you think we should handle this problem?
I think there's probably far greater things to worry about in our country than that. I think what we have right now is fine. In professional sports, they need to be on hormone therapy for 2+ years. Trans women, that is, and
Wait, what?
I
I'm
think that
sorry, you're kind of talking away from the mic.
tr- trans women need to be on hormone therapy for 2+ years before they can play with cis women. I think that's totally fine.
That's false. Or
What's
maybe that's
false?
valid in your state, but in my state, that's false.
Well, I'm in Florida. I mean, this is in professional sports. This is a
Oh, in
statewide thing.
professional sports, they're banned in
Yeah.
most professional sports. I'm talking about high school.
Yeah, I'm not talking about high school sports here. I'm talking about professional sports.
Well,
So,
my statement was we're having an issue with trans women wanting to participate in women's high school sports.
well, that'd be girls. That'd be girls and boys. That wouldn't be women. That's why I was
Okay,
confused as
so
to
we're
what you were
having a
talking about.
problem with trans girls wanting to participate in girls' sports.
Okay. What?
What do you think
Why
about
is
this
it?
problem?
I just don't think it's a major issue. I just think there's probably much greater things to worry about.
So
I think
let me give you.
Republicans have done a really good job at
I
propagandizing
don't
the
think they're
issue.
propaganding it at all because, like, I'm in California, right? I coach in California. I'm a Democrat.
Hmm.
Voted against Trump every single time, right?
Uh-huh.
Now, I want you to Google the A.B. Hernandez case real quick.
Why? What about it?
This is a trans girl who is
Hmm.
participating in female sports on the volleyball team and on the track team. Now, she has been dominating so much so to where every other school's girls do not want to play against her.
Hmm.
So they have all collectively forfeited and will refuse to play that school,
Hmm.
effectively ruining that school's females team or
Hmm.
girls team, if you want to call it that way, because nobody wants to play them because they have a trans woman on their team.
Hmm.
Now, not only that, she has been touching on the other teammates, so they have filed a case against her.
Okay.
So I ask you, is this not a serious situation, or
I think anytime somebody's inappropriately touching another person without their consent, it's a problem.
now let me ask you this: could this have been prevented by maybe keeping the trans people in their own area?
Well, no, because I think if somebody wants to inappropriately touch somebody, I think they're going to do it, and I think with that
Yeah, but
issue
we
is that,
shouldn't create
but
areas
but
that make it
we're
easier
not.
to do it.
Well, I don't think we are, but you can say the same thing about gay men or gay boys or lesbians. Then by that
No,
logic, they
that's not.
should.
No, whoa, whoa, whoa,
But
whoa, whoa. Please
why
don't
should a
compare a
gay
man touching a man to
yeah,
a
so why
to a
should a
man
gay
touching
why
a female
why would so with this logic, why is it okay that a gay person is with other men because that gay person would be
because he
attracted
is a
to them?
man. He's
So,
a biological male.
but then it has nothing to do with the attractiveness or anything like
What you're
that.
attracted to does not. That's we didn't make locker rooms based on what you were attracted to. We made locker rooms
Right.
based on your biological
But
sex,
why?
correct?
Okay, but why?
What do
Why
you mean,
is it
but why?
based on
Because
that?
that's how you're born. You're born with.
But
What are
for
we
what
talking
reason
about
do
here?
we? But for what reason do we separate it that way? Like just
For
because we've always done
biological
something.
reasons.
But like, what do you mean biological reasons? What does that mean?
So why do you go into the men's room? Are there urinals, and why aren't there urinals into the females' room?
No, but I'm asking why we separate it. Like, what's the reasoning
Because
for
there's
that?
biological differences.
Meaning what?
What do you mean? Meaning what? Do you know what a biological difference is?
Yeah, but like, why does that mean we
Okay,
should
so tell me,
separate
what's a
them?
biological difference that a male has that a female doesn't?
Well, there's a biological difference between me and a 6'7" person. Does that mean we should be separated? I'm asking why that should be separated.
There's a biological difference between you and a 6'7" person. He's obviously taller than you,
Right,
but
right.
you are biologically the same sex,
But why
correct?
does that mean they should be together? What about that
What do
means we
you
should be
mean?
together?
What do you? Okay,
What about being the same
why
sex
in
means you
Olympic
should be
sports?
together?
So why in Olympic sports are male and female separated?
Yeah. I think typically on
I'm
average,
asking
yes.
you why. I'm asking
Well,
you why, not typically why.
I'm trying to answer, but I think typically on average, yes, we see males tend to be bigger and stronger than females on
On
average.
average, or is it
Yes,
just the
on
truth that
average.
males are
On
stronger than
average.
females?
On average, yes, because there are plenty of males that are weaker than
So
some
why?
females, vice
What are
versa.
some
So,
other factors that would assert that a man's
okay, I
probably
got to be able.
shouldn't be
Listen,
playing
dude,
with
let me
females?
finish, man. This isn't like your live stream. Just like
You've been cutting me
dictate
off
everything.
because you've been
I'm just
losing.
trying. I'm just trying. There's nothing to lose. We're having a conversation here. Okay. So all I'm trying to say is I think there are better ways to group these people. I think we should probably do it off of hormone levels. That would be a better way if you want things to be a bit more fair.
I
Because I think
like
that's
that
a
because you know what? There's a study that NC that I forgot the NPI number for it, but there's no study that proves that you can get a trans woman's level down to that of a cisgender woman's.
What, you mean hormones?
Yeah. You cannot get them
hormones you
down to
can.
that level.
No. Testosterone for sure you can.
You can get them into the range, but you can never get them actually down to the females' levels.
Well, that's not
If
true.
you get them down to the range, then they're within the females' levels. So literally, if you're within that range, you're within those levels, you silly goose.
Okay, let's say the range. No, hold on.
Hold on, guys. 10,000
I don't know
likes
why.
new guest.
Hold on.
10,000 likes new guest. Good.
So you're.
Go ahead, guys. You can go.
So your guest gets to come in, and then he gets to say something, but then I get muted.
We're all having a conversation.
Petty ass shit,
bro. We're having a conversation. Go ahead.
We're not. First of all, kick the other dude. Why is he here? Who is this person?
Because he's often on my panel.
Because he's your cheerleader and supporter, and now he's just jumping in again as I'm talking.
Listen, we love Dougie. Yes, we do. We love Dougie. How about you?
Guys, 10,000 likes, new guest. If you're enjoying the live, follow myself.
Wow. See, this is why we don't take you guys seriously, bro.
We were having a good conversation, and we still could.
And then you invited up this troll, who you're still letting up here.
Mm-hmm.
But it's okay. This is why we don't
go ahead and respond.
I don't care anymore. No. I don't take it seriously anymore.
All right. So you're acting like a little kid. Oh, there you go.
I'm acting like a little kid.
Tell me you want to get kicked without telling me you want to get kicked. Holy
also,
shit.
tell me you were a Democrat. What do you mean you don't?
I know. I was about to say that. I think he was pretending. I don't know why they do that. If you have a talking point that you think is valid, why don't you just say it without pretending to be of a certain side? Hi, and guys, I'm only looking for opposition, by the way. Hi, Em. Em, are you there?
Want me to access my.
All right, you're not.
Want to keep going?
Okay, I don't know what the fuck that was. We're looking for ops, okay? People that voted for Trump, or if you have an issue with the LGBT plus community. Hello, Reverence. How you doing?
I'm doing good.
I just need to know your age, please. How old are you?
I'm 18.
Okay, and do you have an issue with the LGBT plus community?
Yes, I do.
All right, what's that issue?
Well, I find it uncomfortable, and I find it as if they're, using propaganda to make their way into our children.
Like what? What propaganda?
I feel like, there's probably evidence of the Jews promoting this, LGBTQ through many ways.
There it is.
What do you mean?
I'm good.
I'm
good. Goodbye. Those shifty Jews. I'll tell you. BCal, how are you doing?
Doing good. Can you hear me?
Yes, I just need to know your age, please. How old are you?
25.
25. All right. Did you vote for Trump, or do you have an issue with the LGBT plus community? Either one.
I voted for Trump, and I have an issue with the LGBTQ community.
What do you got?
What would you like to know? On why I hate the LGBTQ, or why my beliefs are not as strong?
Whatever your personal issue is, you're welcome to bring it up.
Well, you support the LGBTQ community, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Do you have a daughter?
I do not. I have a niece, though.
So no daughter, no son. Yeah. I can't use this example.
You didn't ask me about a son, but I could still care about this, right? Whether I have a daughter or not. You can still bring it up. What is it?
Okay. What are your personal thoughts if you had a daughter that needed to use the restroom, and there was an older gentleman whose belief was a woman comes to the restroom as your daughter is in the stall, right? And we have a male, genetically male, coming into the women's restroom, using the same bathroom as your daughter is in. How would you feel comfortable with that?
Well, I mean, I would be going to the restroom with my daughter regardless, just because that's.
So you're going to be going
let me answer the question, man. I would be going with my daughter regardless, because that's typically what like a good parent would do or a good guardian would do. No, I don't have an issue, because how would that be any different than, say, an older lesbian being in the same restroom as my daughter? I don't see how that would really be any different. Or on the flip side, if I had a son, an older man who happens to say be gay, be in the same restroom as my son, really not any different.
One thing.
You believe in God?
I do not, but I don't see how that's relevant to this.
Then I can't move on any further with this. I just hope God finds a peace in your heart and you accept the Lord.
Get off the podium. Can I ask you a question, though?
No, because I don't fucking know who you are.
You don't know
That's
who I
fine.
am
I don't know
either.
who you are either.
You don't know who the fuck I am either. Like, we're
I'm
not
talking to
friends.
the mainstream here, right here, Doug.
Okay,
Or...
but Corey's on the panel as well.
Yeah, so I'm going to ask you.
Okay, go ahead, Corey. Sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah,
I thought
have
you were a
some
random
croutons on
user.
this salad too. No, but the question I have for you is, you mentioned this whole like women's restroom thing. Now,
Yeah.
correct me if I'm wrong, but women's restrooms tend to have entirely all just stalls with doors in front of them to give relative privacy to the individuals in there, right?
Do sharks have restrooms? Do dolphins have restrooms? I want to be identified as a dolphin. Can I identify as one? It's just a no. It's a simple
But
question.
that's a very
It's a
that's a very
simple
easy answer. No, because we know what a dolphin's genetics are, and you can't identify as something that's not within the human experience.
You believe in genetics?
Exactly.
Or
You
yes,
believe in
genetics is not a thing you believe in. It just is.
It's facts, right? We speak facts, right?
Genetics are quite literally a thing, yes. But BCal, that's not. But like, I just want to ask. I want to have you answer this. In women's restrooms, right? They typically have private stalls for each individual, right, BCal?
Sorry, what did you say again? You cut off.
Okay.
I don't
In
speak.
women's
I don't speak. I don't
restrooms-
speak English. I identify as a dolphin.
You know what's really funny is that dolphins actually can communicate with people relatively well because they're very intelligent animals.
Yeah.
So what I'm hearing is that you're actually dumber than a dolphin, which is fine. It's also weird that you want to identify as a dolphin, considering we also know what dolphins view about consent, which is they don't respect it. So it seems like you're actually the big threat here to women. However, getting back onto the topic, since I know you can hear me, women's restrooms have private stalls right there.
Do you know how to unmute yourself? And guys, we are looking for ops. I would say at 10,000 likes, we can get to a new one. So you guys, you can tap a bit quicker, but I have a feeling he's going to drop as he just did. So, but regardless, if you all can still keep tapping, that would be helpful. Helps keep us on FYP. All right. Well, let's just get to the new one. We are only looking for opposition, meaning if you do agree with myself and Corey, well, I appreciate the support. Please do drop from the request box, okay? And make sure you guys heart me as well at the top left, please. Thank you. All right, we got a guest. Hi, how are you? Alex, guest, how you doing? Guest going once, guest going twice. Goodbye. On to the next. EV, hello. EV.
Oh, I didn't mean to join. I'm sorry.
You're okay. We all forgive you. Well, at least I do. All right, next one.
Hello?
Go Cubbies. That's
Hello?
right. Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. I just need to know your age before we move forward, please.
I'm 18. I was born 2008.
Gotcha. Okay. And what issue do you have with the LGBT plus community?
Wait, what? Oh,
yeah.
yeah. I mean, like, honestly, like, oh, dude, it's just like, well, I don't know if it's much of like an issue. It's just more like what even is it at this point? You know, it's like they add so much to it. You know, like
The LGBTQ,
like there's
LGBTQI,
so many letters now
for years. Well, not really. I mean, you learned 26 letters of the alphabet when you were in like kindergarten, so surely you should know.
Yeah,
like,
but that was just
7
like
of
A
them.
through Z, and like it's like, oh, dude, it's like honestly, I don't even know. You know, it's like.
Okay, so letters are difficult.
Honestly, I don't even know, man. It's just hard to tell. Like,
Yeah, letters are tough, man. You know, I struggle with letters too at times. I get it.
wait,
They're
so wait,
rough.
what was like? Is this about like Trump? Like, wait, what was this about? Like, what's the prompt
Listen.
again? Sorry.
The prompt is what you can see on screen.
Oh no, I don't hate him. I don't hate him. I'll say that. I don't hate him.
Well, you clearly
I don't
have
hate 'em.
issues. Well, you clearly have a
Oh, I
distaste
just don't.
towards them.
Maybe I don't like fully understand, but like it doesn't mean I hate him though. That's the only thing, you know.
What is it that you don't understand specifically?
It's like I just thought that like it was just like like you're gay or like you're lesbian, but like now it's like there's kind of like a lot more now to understand, you know. Like I don't really get all of it,
So
like
what?
the IA,
Okay.
like.
What's so different? Okay, so what is it? You have like what about I is? Do you have questions?
What does I stand for again? Like I mean I know it's a letter, but like
Intersex.
Is that like a biological thing, or is that like
All right, goodbye. Nope, guys. I'm. It's fine if you have questions and you want to learn stuff, but that wasn't genuine. If you guys truly want to know something, you think like literally just go to Google and type in what does LGBTQIA plus mean. Like you'll get your answers if that's something you truly want to know. But I don't think many of you are asking in good faith. Honestly, I really don't. All right, so. All right, Paco, you're loading. I guarantee you, as soon as I bring up the next guest, you're going to be loaded. We're going to have 2 guests up. Guarantee it. All right, let's keep going. Loading. All right, guys, we're trying to get to the next guest. I promise we are just looking for ops, okay? All right. Big, hello.
What's happening, brother?
Not much. I just need to know your age before we move forward, please.
Oh, I'm 38, man.
Cool.
Head full of
All
grown, head full of grays, bunch of cheering, man. So yeah, I'm of age, brother.
All right. And did you happen to vote for Trump?
Huh?
Did you happen to vote for Trump?
Man.
Okay. Do you have an
Nah.
issue with the LGBT plus community?
Not so much as an issue, but questions, and it's
What do you
not questions for the whole community. Cause some of it I understand. My mom's gay. She had a girlfriend that I treat like an extra mama. She been with her for 13 years, whatever. But my question is simple. My question is basically with the transsexuals, right?
Transgender. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What's the like? I'm trying to say it to where it's not an asshole-ish question, but basically, if transsexuals, transgenders,
Transgender people.
transgender people, if they're so keen, on people telling them what they are, why is it okay for them to do it back?
Do what back?
Basically saying, just like you just corrected me 3 times, right?
Huh?
Right?
Yeah.
I just found out what cisgendered is, and that the term straight is somehow now disrespectful to the LGBT community.
Straight isn't disrespectful.
I mean, I've had this conversation. Like I said, my mom's gay, so me and her sat down, had this same exact debate. It's like, why should I have to call somebody who was born a man a woman? And to me, it's delusion, but to them, it's life.
Sure. Guys, we can get to new guests at 15,000 likes. Yeah, so if you're talking about the term cis, right, like, I don't think that ever comes up in my day-to-day life. The only time it ever comes up is when I have these conversations. But I don't, like, I'm a personal trainer, right? So, like, if I have a client, I don't say, hey, I'm Doug, I'm cis. That just doesn't come up. It only comes up in very specific conversations such as this when it's relevant. Other than that, it's just not a word that's really super, super relevant in our day-to-day life.
Right.
Does that make sense?
It does. I just wanted some clarification. Like I believe everybody, because to be honest, where you put your private part, I don't care at all. My only problem, like, with the whole thing is the miscommunication of the T's.
What miscommunication?
That's it. If we can, like I just said, the fact that the cisgender thing, but they don't want to be called whatever they're not identifying as.
Well, no. There's a difference. You being cis is just an adjective to describe what type of man you are, right? That's all it is. And then trans, the same thing. It's just an adjective to describe what type of man or woman or girl or boy they are, or whatever. That's it.
Right. So the labeling of it shouldn't matter then. If I call myself straight and somebody get offended by it, that shouldn't happen, right?
Well, straight's different than cis or trans. Straight would be like a sexuality, while this is like gender identity.
See, that's where I'm confused, because none of that made sense to me.
Okay, so like you being straight means that you're attracted to the opposite sex, right? Or
right.
Some people might say opposite gender, but whatever. Whereas if we're talking about trans or cis, that just means your gender either doesn't align with your sex or it does. That's it. So it's more about gender identity versus one's sexuality.
So gender identity is different
Then
than
sexuality, yes.
sexual
Sexual
identity.
orientation, yes.
So you can just wake up in the morning and say, you know what? My name ain't Brian no more. Today it's Barber. I can just do that.
Your name?
I'm just saying.
Your
I'm
name?
just
Well, your
saying.
name doesn't have
As an
to do with
example.
sexuality or gender. I mean, you can
Okay,
call
I
yourself
don't want
whatever
to
you
be a
want, really.
Brian. I want to be a Barber.
Yeah, I mean, you can call yourself anything that you want in terms of like, can you legally change your name? Well, I mean, you'd have to, go through the process of doing that. But that I don't see how that's relevant to this.
That's what I'm
Your
saying.
name.
I'm lost. I'm asking for clarification. I'm not making jokes. I'm not poking fun. Cause
You're
I want all of us to get along. Cause like
okay.
I said, whoever you doing ain't my business.
Okay.
And I
Yeah.
just want
Yeah. So when it comes,
understanding.
I understand. I understand. So when it comes to like being trans or cis or whatever the case is, nobody's just waking up. Nobody's just waking up one day and saying, "Hey, I'm a woman or I'm a man or I'm a girl or a boy or anything like that." It's something that would be inherent to oneself. Like you, I would assume, always identified as a boy and then became a man. It was never a question. You never just decided you were a boy or a man. So that's how it would be for transgender people.
All right, well, I understand. I guess it's basically as good as I'm gonna get. Everything else.
I think if you have genuine questions, that's totally okay. I would recommend maybe you hang around in spaces in which you're talking about it, like in which like these conversations are being had, and you can certainly learn more. As long as obviously you have an open mind. Nobody's against
Yeah,
learning.
I mean, recently I just went to a drag show with my mom, and once again I had this conversation with them,
Okay.
and they were saying almost the same thing that you're saying, but they were saying that's where I heard that the term "straight" is now offensive to the trans people. So
Um,
that's
yeah, I don't
why
know. I wasn't there for who said it or what the context was. I've never heard that personally, but yeah. So. But anyways, let me get to somebody who's looking to debate because it looks like you're not
all right,
necessarily
you
trying
have
to
a good
debate,
one.
but hope you learned a thing or two. Take care. All right, guys. Again, I'm really I prefer to look for debates. I understand some people might have questions, but we're really trying to do debates here if we can, please. All right, Lit. Hello.
Hey,
Hey, I just need to know your age, please.
I'm 19.
19. Okay. And were you old enough to vote?
I am.
It's okay. No. Were you at
Not
the
really.
time old enough to vote? It's
In
okay
the
if not. I'm just
previous
wondering.
election,
Yeah, in
no.
the previous
No.
election. Okay. All right.
No.
Do you have an issue with the LGBT plus community or anything like that?
I do. Can I have one moment, please?
I mean, this is what you're here for. So sure. What do you got?
Yes, one moment. One moment. I gotta go on mute for a second.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, while he's taking that moment, if y'all can keep tapping and sharing, please, and if you can send in your heart me right at the top left too, that would be great. Make sure you follow Corey, show him a little bit of support if you can. And I got my gift goal, failings from the bio. None of it's ever needed, but I do appreciate it. If you're watching on a tube, make sure you subscribe and like the
All right.
live. All right. What do you got?
So, my issue with the LGBTQ plus IA community is that they're commonly associated with mental illness. Therefore, I don't find it that we should be encouraging this type of behavior because it's sending people into mental illness and distress.
What do you mean by associated with mental illness?
The American Psychiatric Association found that people in the LGBTQ plus community are 2.5 to 4 times more likely to have mental illness. Okay.
Okay. But even if that were to be the case, that doesn't mean that somebody who is gay or trans that they have the mental illness specifically because of that. So it sounds like you're insinuating that like we're encouraging people to have mental illnesses or anything like that. That's not what anybody's trying to encourage at all.
We're encouraging behavior that's associated with it,
Oh
like
no.
way more commonly than being straight or
But
not.
but 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 you're gay or trans or whatever. Regardless, right? The whole point is that what we're trying to do is make awareness about that, like, people exist who aren't just straight or cis, like other people exist. And the more that we have acceptance towards these things, the more awareness we have, the less actually rates of these things that we have of depression and self-unaliving. Because we had really high rates of those things before. Now that it's a
Well, we
little more
still do.
open, we actually
It's-
have, right, but we have less rates now because of the fact that it's a little more accepting. Now, I think we still have ways to go, but we're actually looking to minimize the rates of people having different mental illness and mental health issues, not the
So
opposite.
you're saying that people within the LGBTQ plus community have been unaliving themselves and having these mental illnesses due to rejection?
No, so being in the what we have seen historically, and we love the research, is that being in the closet, quote unquote, and hiding oneself as to who they are, not feeling like you can be open about oneself, absolutely leads to higher rates of depression and self-unaliving, and
Why do you
a
think
lot of
that
those
is?
things.
Because everyone faces
Well,
rejection.
Well, imagine if you had to pretend, like if you were straight and you had to pretend to be gay your entire life. Do you think that would probably harm your mental health to some degree?
Well, you don't have to pretend to be anything.
Well, no. But what I'm saying is that in many areas, people aren't as accepting, and coming out as gay, or especially being trans, isn't the most accepting thing. So a lot of times they
It
feel they
is
do have to hide it.
70% of these societies accepts LGBTQ plus members.
Okay, but like what I'm talking about is in many cultures in America, it's still not a thing that's fully accepted.
Well, I'm talking within America, and we still
Right,
find
in
those
America.
rates of
Yeah, in
mental
America,
illness.
it's not fully accepted. Yeah, and we want to aim to
No, it
reduce
is
those rates.
it is accepted.
Obviously,
in
it's not.
America.
If it was fully accepted, then Trump wouldn't have spent $250 million campaigning against transgender people during his 2024 campaign.
What was the campaign called?
You mean running for president?
No, campaigning against transgender people.
His election
No.
campaign in 2024, he ran on anti-trans policies and consistently demonized trans people throughout his entire campaign.
Name one
By the way, if you are transgender and you want to come up to be a part of this conversation, please hit the request button.
Name one anti-transgender policy.
We can name plenty.
Yeah, I was gonna say kicking transgender people out of the military, for example, despite them committing or doing honorable service.
No, it's the
Yes,
most qualified.
yes.
The most qualified people for the military.
Yeah, but they were qualified and they were doing it fine, and just on the basis of their being trans, Donald Trump kicked them out. They didn't have performance issues. They had no demerits. They didn't have any like Article 15s or anything like that against them.
Right,
They were
so
just
they were
moved from the
kicked out
military because they were trans. That's anti-trans.
It's more than just because they were trans.
That was
It's
literally the
literally-
executive order. I could pull up the executive order. I promise you that's all it was.
Pull it up.
Yeah, absolutely. Right, give me 1 second. So it's prioritizing military excellence and whatever. It's still loading here. So it is All right, prioritizing military excellence and readiness. Yes, we can get to new guests at 25,000 likes, or if you drop sooner, of course. So it says this order requires that the U.S. DoD update medical enlistment and retention standards to ban transgender individuals from serving in the armed forces within 60 days, and to discontinue the practice of pronoun self-identification. It also requires that the U.S. Secretary of Defense identify further measures needed for full implementation and provide a report to the president summarizing these measures within 30 days. Blah, 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 blah. All right, service measures will be required to use sleeping, changing, and bathing facilities corresponding to their assigned sex, with exceptions only in cases of operational necessity. There's only a couple more sentences, I promise. The order outrageously declares to identify as a gender that is different from an individual's sex assigned at birth, conflicts with a soldier's commitment to an honorable, truthful, and disciplined lifestyle, even in one's personal life. The order also states that using pronouns inconsistent with one's sex compromises the government's ability to establish high standards for troop readiness, lethality, cohesion, honesty, humility, uniformity, and integrity.
Right. So
they had to be kicked out, which was like the
Exactly.
first sentence.
and you don't
Right.
find that reasonable?
To kick trans people out of the military on the basis that they're trans now.
Well, it's more than just trans. Do you think
No,
while-
that was all
while
it was. What other reasoning did you get? They were trans. They were kicked out because they were trans. That's it.
everything you listed. So do you find while our military is busy protecting and defending our country that we need to deal with quote unquote females with penises showering in the same rooms?
So
With
once
females.
again, this is not an issue at all, right? Again, these people have served honorably. Many of them have been deployed, some of them numerous times, actually, right? Something that you didn't do. They're doing something that you couldn't even do.
How do you know I'm not in the military? Why are you assuming that?
You would have brought it up by now.
Why do you say that?
Because you would have
How do
brought
you
it
know
up by
that?
now. Because
Hey, what
I
does
know.
MOS stand for, Lip Proof? What does MOS stand for?
So you think there are
Okay, so you
military?
weren't in the military.
No. So you weren't in the military. Cool. You can that's fine. Just don't try and act like you were.
I'm not. How am I acting like How am I acting like I'm in the military?
All I am saying is that these individuals, trans men and trans women, did something that you weren't even able to do, right? They were more gutsy than you, yet you're criticizing them.
More gutsy is
Yes.
the amount of courage individual have represented in which they serve in the military or not?
I mean,
Again,
military country that often hates them. I'm sorry, Doug.
Yeah, no, they had more guts in this specific circumstance to do something in which they would get ridiculed for, right, as we see right now, and put themselves out in the open. Yeah, so I think they certainly have more guts in
so
this.
you're just
scenario.
making an assumption that they have more courage than me because they're in the military.
No, I'm not making an assumption. I see it.
No, that's exactly what you just said. Yeah.
No.
You're making a baseless assumption. You don't know who I am or where I'm from.
It's not baseless. You're criticizing them for something you couldn't do yourself.
No, I'm not criticizing anyone.
Well, you are. You're saying that they shouldn't have been in the military.
That's not criticizing. That's just a fact that our military shouldn't have to deal with referring to somebody by pronouns and
so
keeping
hard.
out people.
So difficult.
So difficult. When I was in a bunker as mortars were getting shot at us, I do remember the biggest concern was the pronouns of the person next to me. That was
that's my biggest worry.
As incoming alert was being shouted at the loudspeaker in Afghanistan. I was like, oh my god, the pronouns.
You think the woman in the military like showering beside a man with a dick?
What makes you think that this is? Do you know how these things work? Do you understand how the showers and all that stuff work? Anyways, it doesn't sound like you do.
There's shower rooms, yeah.
Okay. So should we not let anybody in the military in which I would feel uncomfortable showering next to them? Like if you're in the military, now I was in, and I felt uncomfortable showering next to you, why shouldn't we ban you?
Because I'm a male and you're a male.
Okay. But why does that matter though? What about that means?
So you're saying a woman should have to shower with a man?
I believe no. I think trans women are women, but I think once again, when it comes to this,
let me ask you a question. If a historian, an archaeologist digs up,
I know. If they digged up the bones, would they describe if they're a man or a woman? Nobody cares about that stupid argument. Okay, gender has nothing to do with your bones. Gender has nothing to do with your bones. Okay, it doesn't matter what they would say, what they were.
Gender has nothing.
It's not relevant. Gender has nothing to do with your bones.
Why are they classified as a male if they dig up the bones? Why does that not matter?
You're talking about sex right now. Sex is different than gender.
Well, how is it different?
Well, sex is going to be something that's off more so biological traits, right? So, like, typically people would probably base it off of, like, one's genetics, their genitalia, a few other things would play into it as well. And then gender would be more of a psychosocial construct in terms of how we view, in terms of, like, sometimes how they're viewed and how they self-describe. But yeah, once again, guys, if you are transgender and you want to be a part of this conversation, please do hit the request button at the bottom of the screen. I'll be happy to bring you on that.
All right, well, I appreciate you having me here.
You don't want to continue speaking?
This conversation really isn't going anywhere, but I do appreciate you having me.
It's going a lot of places. It's going a lot of places. I think you just don't like it where it's going because you know you're not going to be able to answer some of the fucking questions. I think that's all it was. I think you were realizing, shit, you don't know about this as much as you probably thought you did. All right. Well, yeah. Maybe you just didn't want to talk to any transgender people. I don't know. Who the fuck knows? Thank you, Lainey. Thank you so much. All right. Let's bring up the next guest. If you're joining live, follow myself and Corey. Show Corey a little bit of support. He's got 0 coinage. At least give him 1. Tho, how you doing?
What's up?
Thanks, Lainey. I just need to know your age. How old are you?
26.
Okay. And did you happen to vote for Trump?
Did I vote for Trump? No, I didn't.
Okay. Do you have an issue with Do you have some sort of like issue or question in relation to the LGBT plus community?
Yeah, I just want to respond to the prompt.
Okay.
Why
Well,
do
I'm just
you?
looking for. Yeah, I'm just looking for debate. So if like there's something that you disagree with, we can have a conversation. If not, I would get to the next person.
Okay, so what was the question again?
Well, the question's there on screen.
Yeah,
Like,
I'm saying.
are you? I know, but are you in disagreement though? Like, is there some issue that you have with the LGBT plus community?
Yeah, there's an issue.
Okay, what's that issue?
See, I don't have a problem with like normal gay people. It's just that the trans that I have a problem with.
Transgender people. Well, that has
Yeah,
nothing to do with being gay. That would that's just a separate thing.
I
But
mean,
what is
when you're
what is your
trans,
issue?
when you're
What is your
trans, you're
issue?
still gay.
Well, no. You could be trans and straight, trans and bi, trans and asexual.
How does
But
that
what's
make sense?
well because one's about gender, the other is about one's like sexuality. They're two different things.
I see. I'm a firm believer you can't switch your gender,
Yeah, they're not.
and
They're not. They're all they're doing is affirming their current gender identity. They're not switching it.
whatever you say.
Well,
I'm
there's
a
a
firm.
difference. Yeah, there's a difference. They're not changing what their gender is by any means. Like
Okay, so
a trans woman was never a man. Like they've
so
always
when a
been a
man
woman.
chops off his penis and turns it into the coochie, what is he trying to do?
Well, that's not a requirement though to be transgender, right? Like
Yeah,
you
I
could
know
be.
that.
So they're not switching anything. All they're
Yeah,
doing is
but
affirming
some of
their
them
gender
cut off,
identity.
some of them cut off their penis and turn it into coochie.
Well, they're not cutting it off. You're talking about having bottom surgery. Sure, some of them do that. Many of them don't.
Yeah,
Though.
and I think the ones that like to sit up and lie about their birth gender are real problems. You
Well,
know,
how are they lying? Like, in which way is a trans man lying about being a man?
you get what I'm trying to say. The
No,
ones that
because you said they're lying. I'm just curious what they're
So
lying
the
about.
ones that like to go out and talk to straight men and say, "Oh, I'm a female and all that. I'm a female," but turns out they're a man, and that man that didn't know that ends up unalive. And you can't blame nobody but the trans person.
Yeah, let's have somebody come on up who is trans so they can speak on this. I don't think that happens nearly as much as you think. That sounds like some sort of insecurity. Hey, Lainey, how
It
you doing?
happens zero amount of times. We don't want to fucking fuck transphobes, dude. Like, we don't want you.
You
Fucking
need to
don't
speak
worry
for
about
real.
it. Don't worry about it. We don't want you, dude. Seriously. You are repulsive. You're a repulsive person.
I know I am. I'm not
Cisgender women
lying.
don't even want you, dude. Like,
They do. They love me. They adore
Well, I
me.
don't know
They
about
want my
that.
no,
body.
they don't. No,
I
you're
They
do.
love me.
obviously a misogynist twerp,
Yeah, I am
incel
misogynist.
little freak.
I am misogynist. I didn't vote
And
because I
I
don't like
guarantee you,
Trump,
you
and I would
goon to
never put a
trans porn. I
woman.
guarantee you goon to trans porn.
Yeah, I am misogynist.
Yeah, you are.
I didn't vote for Trump, and I will never put a woman in a position of power.
Yeah,
Why?
you're a misogynist. Yeah, you don't like women, so
I
obviously
do
you don't
love
like
women. I
trans
love
women.
women. I
No, you
love
don't.
women. I
No,
do
you don't.
love
I
You
don't
don't
women.
think I
respect
don't think you
women.
do.
You objectify them, just like you objectify trans women, and all you can think about are their fucking crotches
I don't
because you guys are
objectify
obsessed
trans.
with
I
your
don't
own
objectify
dicks, and you're
trans
obsessed with
women because
everybody else's dick.
I quite literally don't
Hey,
think of
Fo,
the
just
trans
let
people.
Lainey speak, and then you can go. Make it a back and forth. Okay.
Yeah, remember that.
But trans women are not trying to trick you. We honestly don't want to date you. I promise you.
So
We
why do
want
you
somebody
go
who
out? Why do
actually
you go
sees
out
us
in
as a
public?
person.
Why do you go out in public and trick straight men?
I
That's my
don't.
question.
I literally don't. I could give a fuck about straight men. I could give a fuck about straight men. But you know who hits on me? Straight men. Constantly. You know who I
Because they're
tell no
tricking
to?
them.
Constantly? Straight men.
Because
I
they're
don't want
tricking
you.
them.
Don't want you. Don't want you.
You're tricking them. That's why.
You're repulsive. Don't want you. I literally, all I do is advocate for the trans community. I wear trans shit like all the time. Like, I wear my transness on my sleeve, okay? Nobody's trying to trick you.
What's
That
up, Corey? You
literally
want to
what
chime in
happens
after?
is men want trans women, but they don't want their buddies to know because they think their buddies will think they're gay. That's it.
Mm.
And then they unalive them. We literally try to avoid y'all weirdos as much as we possibly can. But it
Hey
is
guys,
difficult to find
oh,
somebody who's not so insecure in their fucking masculinity that they care what their homies think more
Autobots,
than like
roll
what
out.
their heart believes.
guys, we can make
Shut up, you
25K to kick
Autobot.
goal. Corey,
You're
you
an
want to
Autobot.
chime in?
Yeah, I just wanted to ask a question real quick. Because is there any evidence you have that like trans women or trans men, for instance, are actually out there are going out there and tricking cis people at scale? Because like I'll speak to this, right? I'm sure there's at least one person who's been dishonest or just hasn't let on certain details, because like people do that to each other all the time about these various details.
Hey,
so
you
can
gotta
you show me?
Fabit, you gotta let Corey speak, please.
Autobots roll out.
No, hey buddy. So I'm gonna quickly press this little button here. And anyways, can you show me any sort of statistic that backs up this idea that like trans people are out there tricking cis people to sleep with them at scale? Can you back that up at all?
You're an Autobot.
Okay,
you lie to women every time you talk to them in a bar. You lie to them always, because you don't tell them that you're a misogynist from the jump, do you?
No,
you
I
let
don't
them
tell
find
them
that
that.
out slowly over
I let them
time
find it out
that you're a
slowly.
piece of shit. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So you think because you lie to the people that you want to sleep with, that trans people are doing the same thing. But guess what? That shows that we are not men. We don't think like you. We don't act like you. We are not you. That is your issues that you need to go to fucking therapy for, dude.
All right, so it doesn't sound like you're here for a serious conversation.
That sucks, don't it, to have to look in the mirror, doesn't it?
Do you want to respond seriously, or are you just going to keep saying your stupid response?
I'd love
I respond
to answer my question, my buddy. I'd love you to answer my question.
Are you like in a gym or something? Because you like echoing and shit.
All right, guys, we are looking for ops, okay? I would say
am
25,000 likes, new guess, but I don't think we're going to make it to 25,000 likes, so.
I mean,
all right.
Here, is this better for you, buddy? Is this quieter for you? So apparently this thing is hard. Do you have anything to back up the claim that transgender people are out there tricking cisgender people or being dishonest about like their gender or anything like that at a scale? Do you have anything to back up this idea? This is a trend that is happening.
Yeah, I see the articles of like them getting unalive.
Wait, hold on. So you see articles. Cool. Could you actually show me one of these articles? Could you please
see articles of them getting unalive. That is not evidence that they tricked someone. That is evidence that a mediocre piece of shit man was insecure about who he was attracted to. Those men very much know who they're dating. They very much know. And they're just worried that their friends are going to find out. That is all. That is it. That is all.
Hold on. So you're saying you've seen articles. These articles are detailing that there is a trend happening amongst trans individuals being dishonest about their gender to their potential partners. Because that's what I'm asking you for. So if you have one of these articles, I would love to hear the title of it so I can pull it up.
I don't have to give you a title. Just look it up. Plenty will pop up.
I'm literally saying you're looking at headlines and then blaming the victims for their own deaths.
Hold on, buddy. The problem here is you actually do need to pull up an article if you're going to make a claim, right?
All right, so go look. Go on, say.
No, sweetheart. You need to pull up the name of some article. Baby girl. It's okay. I know it's a little angry. I know it's an angry time. But I'm trying to ask you a question right now. Sweetie pumpkin, calm down. I know you need to take your nappy soon. Okay? It's okay. But before you do, can you please pull up something that demonstrates a trend amongst the trans community of lying to cisgender people in order to sleep with them? Please. It's okay, baby girl. It's okay.
I also have another problem with
Hi, pumpkin. You do not try and run away from this, or just say you can't back it up. We appreciate honesty here.
I'm giving you the answer y'all want. Y'all have Pride Month with the parades and everything, and some states allow y'all to have the parades, but they also allow you to walk around naked.
Oh no! Now we're changing topics. That's
fucking
no. Hey, Corey asked for specific evidence about the claim.
I have been to multiple Pride events in New York City. I have never seen anyone nude at them.
I see it on Instagram and shit where they have like Pride Month and they're walking around naked.
Straight people never famously.
Just in LA, they had like a bike thing where they were riding around on the city and the bikes. And
that's not a Pride event, dummy. Those are straight people, and those are people of all different orientations. That is a nudist thing that has nothing to do with Pride.
Point still stands.
No, it doesn't. That is absolutely against your point. You're saying that
No,
queer
it's
people
not.
do that
No, it's
when
not.
it's literally straight
They do
people
it in the
doing
gay
it.
pride ones too.
Nope. Incorrect.
They walk around with their cocks out doing gay pride
Um,
now.
Nope. Incorrect.
Forever, you got to learn to provide evidence
You've
for your
never been to a
claims.
pride event, so like stop pretending like you know fuck all about our
Well, why
community.
the fuck would I go to one?
You just have a bias and you have icky little feelings in your tummy about it, little confused boner, and you don't know what to do with it. So you project your perversions onto the queer community. Because when you think of us, you think of sex. We don't. We exist like every other human being. You
No,
don't
you
want to see
don't.
us as humans. You see us as sex objects because that's the only context
I
in
see
which
you
you
as
imagine
fucking
us.
weirdos.
The only context in which you imagine
I
us
see
is
you as
as
weirdos.
potential sex objects. That's it. You don't see us as
I
human
see you
beings.
as
Yes, you
weirdos.
see us as objects. You are the strange one. It is your brain
I see
that
you
puts us
as
into those
weirdos. You
scenarios
guys
because
are
you cannot
weirdos.
see our
Weirdos.
humanity.
Weirdos.
We are just people.
Weirdos. Weirdos.
We're people
All right.
with
All
families, with
right. That's
kids,
it. Goodbye.
with jobs.
Goodbye. Goodbye.
You're a piece of shit.
Guys, we are looking for opposition. Just have a conversation. It's not that difficult. You don't need to make weird noises or say stupid things. Like, just have a conversation. Holy shit.
All right.
If you guys are
I
enjoying
gotta
the
make
live,
my
follow Laney
dinner.
and Corey. All right, Laney. Great seeing you. Make sure you guys give
All
Laney a
right.
follow,
Love
okay?
you.
Love you. Take care.
Love you,
Okay.
chat. Bye.
All right. And make sure you guys send in the heart me too, okay? There's at the top left. Like I said, just helps keep us on the FYP and have more guests and more conversations. Thank you, Blondie. All right. There are a bunch of people in the request box. I know a lot of them probably left by now, so I'm just trying to sort through them. So make sure you guys just hang tight for a second while I get to one. All right, here we go. Owen, hello. Owen, going once. Owen, goodbye, Owen. Let's get to the next one. All right, MPN, hello. All right. Ooh, are you there? MPN? MPNSK0? Hello. All right, next one. And just trying to get the next one. Here we go. Hello, OBS.
Hello.
Hi. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. How about yourself? Outside
I'm
of
doing.
the annoying participants.
I'm doing well. Thanks for asking. I just need to know your age before we move forward. How old are you?
I'm 23, and if you want, you can refer to me as Caden. You don't have to call
Okay.
me OBS.
All right, sounds good. And do you have some sort of issue with the LGBT plus community?
No, see, I came to address one thing that I agreed with you wholeheartedly on is the switching your gender identity doesn't necessarily mean that you're switching your entire gender. And I like how you made that distinction because I don't have a problem with any I won't say, I guess I'll just say gay people.
Okay,
I don't
just one quick second. I am just looking for debate. So is there something that you do disagree with though, or some sort of contention that you have?
I a little bit.
Okay. Okay.
The entitlement of being trans, I don't think it grants exactly what it seems like at face value. Like if you transition from a woman to a man, it doesn't necessarily mean that like traditional men things, it doesn't necessarily mean you're a strong leader, high in testosterone. There's another point that I was thinking about that I've forgotten about by now. My main point of contention and problem is this is a very small caseload, but trans people not going into the right bathrooms. I have a little sister and other, little family members that I would fear to God that if they were in their correct bathroom and somebody else predatory wise walks into their bathroom and does mean things,
Sure.
that's my main point of problem. Outside of that, I don't care.
I hear what you're saying. So listen, it's already illegal to do inappropriate things to somebody in the restroom, regardless of if you are trans, cis, gay, straight, whatever the case is. That's already a thing, right? So we don't see trans men or trans women doing these things at higher rates than than cis people do. If anything, it's lower rates. Cis people tend to do them more. So, like, trans women going into the women's restroom, trans men going into the men's restroom, it shouldn't inherently be a problem because they're like we don't see them doing these things at higher rates. So I don't know why that would be a problem.
Well, it seemed like there for a little bit, and granted, this is probably going to seem very hyperbolic, that like trans men were going into the wrong restroom just like trans women were. But then again, I also haven't looked at like statistics, so I appreciate you calling me out. It's probably not as big a deal as I'm making it out to be, but I hate the idea of it.
Hey, Mitria, you wanted to chime in on this?
Yeah, I mean, you kind of covered what I was going to say, to be honest, but I was going to ask, like, do you think you have a higher chance of being essayed in a bathroom or in a church?
Probably in a church. Probably in a church. Honestly, that's a very good question.
So my whole point was just like, people are told to be afraid of it because that's what the conservative right wants you to do. They want you to be afraid of it so that you demonize it, so that you don't think it's a problem when they come after the rights of trans people. But it's not nearly as big of a problem than people would like to make it out to be.
Right. I agree with you on that. It's definitely not that big of a deal, but that's about my only problem with the trans community. Like, honestly, if that makes you happy being trans, then go right on ahead. You know, that's your life, not mine. Live it to the fullest extent. But please don't push the boundaries. You know what I'm saying?
What do you think push the boundaries?
Oh, I'm sorry. I just had the biggest brain fart. First and foremost, what I brought up, the bathroom situation. I think I wouldn't say it's a bad thing or that I don't like it. I think it's mildly ironic whenever, like, let's say a trans man wants to act big and bad, knowing, you know, dang good and well they're not a man, that they don't carry that with them. You know, from birth they haven't carried that with them, and want to act as if, you know, they're a force to be reckoned with, per se. You know, that they're a threat, I guess. I've seen that a couple times, and granted, it is very anecdotal to say, but I have observed that.
Well, let's stop saying the wrong restroom, right? Because, you know, trans women are women, trans men are men, and girls, boys, etc., right? So it wouldn't be the wrong restroom or wrong locker room, for that matter.
Right. That's fair.
Just a correction there. And guys, we can get to new guests at 30,000 likes, or if he happens to drop sooner. Mitra, anything else you wanted to say to him?
I don't know that you made a point there. You kind of said, I've seen trans men that act all big and bad, but I don't know what you were trying to get at.
I guess ego inflation. Like doing a surgery all of a sudden makes you, I guess, more than what you were before. Not to sound demeaning, but I really don't know how to put that without sounding anecdotal, because I'm sure there's no statistics to back that.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I don't think that's the case. I mean, you know, that's obviously not a requirement to be a transgender individual, right? Again, as I said before, it just helps affirm their identity, but I don't see where that's happening at all. I'm not sure where you're getting that from. Now, could their confidence potentially change as you know, as they go through different sorts of gender-affirming care? Sure, and I would imagine so, right? Since, you know, they are kind of matching in terms of what their gender identity is. Yeah, their confidence would probably go up. Maybe you're mistaking that for confidence, potentially.
I don't know what anybody having a confidence boost has to do with any of it anyway. So.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, he was trying to say an ego. I don't know. Trying to figure out what he was saying there, but we are looking for ops. Okay, ops being anybody voted for Trump, or if you did not, as long as you have an issue with LGBT plus community. MPN SK, hello.
Good day. Disclaimer: I'm from Europe.
Yeah, I just need to know. Okay, I just need to know your age, please. How old are you?
35. No, 36.
Okay, and do you have some sort of issue with the LGBT plus community?
Yeah, kind of.
Okay, what's
specifically with asexual and the queer community.
Okay, why?
I feel like as a well, I'm not young anymore, but I was very uncertain as a young man, cis heterosexual kind of usual guy. I think my experience is very common that a boy has to grow into a man in like a transition where he has to like become sure of himself and his role as a man. Like, how do you socialize and what image to project? And I feel like as a gay man or as a trans man or trans woman, you would really get that. Like, you would have empathy for that because you have this same problem like on a whole different level.
I'm confused. Mitra, did you get what he said? I'm a little
No,
confused at
not
where
at
your point
all.
was.
I wanted to get at that. I feel that you are not bringing the empathy to young guys that you should have. Like the trans person that just wasn't like he, she, they brought a lot of hate to the straight guy.
Who? Who did? Mitra?
Yeah, I don't know what the name was.
Oh, Mitra's right below you. If you have an issue with what Mitra said, why don't you just ask Mitra directly? Why talk through me?
You think I was being hateful to the last guest?
Yeah, I think so.
I haven't even started. My hate is still in my purse. What are you talking about?
Yeah, Mitra's going easy right now, I gotta tell you.
Yeah, you did talk a lot of like you wouldn't ever like get in touch with a straight man. Like, why would you? This disgusting creature. You see what you don't see what I mean, or do you?
Are we having the same conversation?
Yeah, maybe you were.
Oh, he might be talking about Laney, potentially.
Yeah, I think that was a different trans guy. Different trans person, I don't know.
Trans person. Okay, but I don't think it's your place to dictate how people of this community talk to others who are speaking out against them. I think it's only fair, considering the backlash that they often get, the criticism they get. They probably react a lot better than I would in their situation.
Yeah, I totally see where it's coming from. It's just I also totally see why I'm throwing it back at them when they're like criticizing me for being toxic or something.
Okay, so do you have some sort of other issue, or is it just about what you don't like what Laney said? Is that it?
No, it's the whole vibe of making it a political issue. I know that you have political problems, like with the military or stuff.
People on the left aren't making it a political issue. They're responding to the right who have made it a political issue. Right? This was never a political issue until Republicans decide to politicize it. Democrats or people on the left or whatever didn't go just out of nowhere and say like, hey, like look at us, look at all these things that we have going. Like, no, it was only a reaction to all of the anti-LGBT plus laws.
Yes, I know. Like, I'm 35. I do remember how it was before. It was great. You didn't have like certain privileges. You didn't have the visibility, but I don't think you had the problems at scale like you have right now, because it's very. Well, maybe you're seeing it differently, but I see the gender war. It really escalated, and the way, like, I'm in Germany, in Europe, the way I see it, I don't want to say you caused it, but like the standstill between right and left, it originated in America and it spread around the world. It's like really politically a problem. And I don't see you solving it.
Well, I'm just one person. I'm just one man. I'm not trying or attempting to solve it. So you're blaming America on the issues, like the misogyny that exists and things like that? Is that where you're...
I see the community as stuck in a battle that doesn't have an end. And I don't see you ending the battle, I see you just wanting to win it.
Go ahead, Mitra, if you want to say something.
Correct, because we're not just going to we're not going to give up.
Yeah, you shouldn't.
We're not going to give up in a fight for human rights. So either the conservative right is going to get over it and stop being an issue.
Yeah, they won't.
Continue to fight. Because we're not going to lay down and die. That's not what we do. That's not what our community does.
Yeah, but I also don't see you winning. So where does
We're
this
gonna
take
win.
us?
We're gonna win. We were already winning. The reason we have this gigantic surge of conservatism is because we were already progressing ahead to a point where this would no longer be a problem. It took a gigantic fat orange monster and his
Yeah?
band of nearing morons to get up there and go, we need real men back. So and real men aren't even said they're not even fucking real. His entire party is closeted gay as fuck. Anyway, behind all of that though, we were already making that progress. We were on our way there. Those conservative idiots couldn't handle it and their mediocrity kicked up in their ass. And now they had to come and do this surge of whatever they're doing. But they're going to fail again. We're going to continue progressing to where this is not going to be an issue anymore. Where topics like this on the background won't have to even exist.
Go ahead, Corey. You can go after
Maybe-
he responds. Let him respond, then you can go, Corey.
Maybe it really is like a seesaw and you do undo what they just undid in your progress, but I don't see this happening. My point I want to bring back is that the young men who are growing up now, I don't see them going to the left. I see them going to the right, and I don't
how about
see
this? How
you
about you stay
offering them
How
anything.
about you stay in Germany and we'll focus on our politics here? How's that sound?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
do
maybe
have to go
focus-
to bed now.
Maybe go on fighting the AFD before you talk to us about like how we're dealing with gender and other things in this country. But I'd point out that our country is becoming more trans affirming. There are greater periods of acceptance in many parts of the country where 30 years ago there really weren't. It's less of a fringe thing. People can be out and proud with this stuff. So yeah, there is going to be pushback because right-wing losers will always try to push back, but we're seeing it get more and more desperate every few years because, again, it's a dying movement. Sure, the Republican Party is becoming more homophobic. Sure, the Republican Party is becoming more transphobic. But the Republican Party is also shrinking in membership. And the Democratic Party, even despite being unpopular with a lot of people, is growing in a lot of areas. More people are voting Democrat. So, yeah, man, like, I'm sorry, but to say that it's a losing fight is just not looking at the numbers.
Okay, good luck. You got a grip on this, I guess. I'm
Take it. Oh my god. This tone policing is very, very annoying. If you guys are enjoying live, follow Mitra and Corey. Show them a little bit of support if you guys can. A little bit of gifts do go a long way. If they have pay links, it would be in their bio. Mine are also my bio. Not needed, but it is appreciated. And let's get to the next guest. We are just looking for opposition. We already have enough friendlies as is, but I appreciate it. Sean, hello.
Hello. Sorry if my background's a little loud.
You're okay for now. How old are you?
33.
33. Okay. And do you have some sort of issue with the LGBT plus community?
Not as a whole, no. Just had a couple things. Just going on with the last guest was, I'm not trying to decipher for him, but I think what he, for me, I feel what he was trying to say was more like you kind of catch more flies with honey type thing, I kind of agree. While I don't agree with the guest that you had, that the other trans person was arguing with, I kind of agree with your last guest that, I mean, is the whole goal not to try to bring the whole community to acceptance, And correct me if I'm wrong. I'm just saying. I mean, I get the anger. I really do. But I'm just sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off.
Yeah, I mean, listen, Mitri can go here in a second. I don't think it's our place necessarily how to tell people within the community how to react to other people. And as you just sort of alluded to, again, I understand a lot of times the frustration and the anger. I fully understand it. So I think they can respond the way that they feel is necessary. But over time, we still do see people becoming more accepting of it anyways. And anybody can run their live stream how they want or talk to people how they want. I got my own way. Mitra's got their own way. Corey does. Right? We're all individuals when it comes to that.
Yeah, I get that. You're right. Yeah, I don't disagree.
What about you, Mitra?
Yeah, I mean, part of it also is some of the people that we talk to, they don't care if they get piss and vinegar or honey. It doesn't matter to them. They're here to win a point on what they refer to as their scoreboard. And so the truth is, a lot of this is not even for the people we talk to. A lot of what we're saying is to inform the 205 people that are watching. So that whether they're watching so they can get their own arguments that they can fight back against stuff like this, or whether they're just curious and they want to know about some of these things. But honestly, I'm not. The truth is, I'm not really in it anymore to prove to people that I am a woman. I don't care. I don't care what people say anymore. They can be hideous. They can be ugly. They can call me names. They can send me death threats. I don't care anymore, to be honest. The truth is, I'm just going to continue to spread the information that needs to be spread over the bullshit that they're trying to really do propaganda with anymore.
Okay. I mean, other than that, I really don't have anything against the community. Nothing but love for everyone.
Okay.
So good luck. I appreciate your
All
channel.
right,
Thank
Sean. Take care. Have a good one, okay? Alrighty. On to the next. Remember, if you're friendly, drop in the request box. We got a bunch of people in there, but I assume some of you guys are friendly, some of you guys are probably not even alive anymore, so we'll sift through them as quickly as possible. Just hang tight. Alright, next one. Hello, how are you?
Hi, how are you doing?
I'm doing great, Official. How about you?
Pretty good.
Good. I just need to know your age before we move forward. How old are you?
I'm older than 40.
Alright, sounds good. Alright, what's going on?
So it's kind of interesting because I think that there is some criticism that the LGBTQ community can take, but primarily, like with the discussions, primarily with so much hatred and so much vitriol, any positive criticism can't really be pushed through. And same on the other side. Like, there is no positivity that we can push through as LGBT members, and I'm gay, just so you guys know I'm not.
Are you
not anti-gay.
No, that's fine. Do you have some sort of issue though, or criticism in relation to the LGBT plus community? I'm just trying to figure out what you're trying to get at here.
Well, I have some criticism. So it's really interesting. I started this nonprofit to try to help the LGBTQ community, and a straight evangelical woman tried to take over, and I got a lot of flack from the community. So I started a religion to try to counter, and to be honest, like, I am my own spiritual beliefs, but I kind of was focusing on the LGBTQ community and the religion because it is partially a religious belief. And I got a lot of flack from.
What part is a religious belief?
There is religious connotation to being gay, lesbian, trans.
What would that religious connotation be?
So there's Jewish connotation. There's also
within gay and trans. What's that connotation?
So the Hindus have their own deities that are trans and gay. In Jewish sects, like the early Jewish sects would allow gay relationships in the temple. So there is religious precedent also in Christianity and the Egyptian faith, et cetera, et cetera. So I was trying to bring that to the forefront because there's this argument that, because religious rights trump anybody else's human rights. And I was trying to bring that forward that, it is a religious belief system. That many people that are pagan believe being gay is a religious right. And since the right wing was
I don't know if it's such a religious belief system as, in terms of what you said. I didn't know much about that. I'm going to look into that. But just because there could be some gods or themes of a religion that happen to contain people who happen to be LGBT+, I'm not sure if that correlates to what you're saying, though, specifically, if that makes sense.
So there
Like,
is religious precedence.
well, it's not a precedence, though.
So we are a religion that affirms. So this is what I'm talking about. I got a lot of pushback against the LGBTQ community because they don't want to be affiliated with religion because there's a lot of religious trauma, and I get that on a personal level. So there was some people that were like, yes, we can use this as because it is our religious right. It's our First Amendment right. It's also other. We also have other rights within the Constitution that are not religious that also affirm our right to be LGBTQI legally. And that's true. But the First Amendment also, based on the fact that there are gay gods and people believe in these gods, that it's religious as well. So there's a few people that were pushing back on that because they didn't want to be affiliated with a gay religion. I understand that, but my point is that there was, like a lot of people that actually got on the bandwagon of this straight evangelical who happened to actually be a right-wing person who was trying to dismantle the organization from the inside by taking it over and saying, no, it's my religion, I started it. She was actually a right-wing Republican who believed in Trump. And so the problem that I have with the gay,
what are you trying to get at? Yeah.
the problem that I have with the gay community is that it's so politicized that it is no longer about our identities. It's no longer about our lives. It's become a political football, just like the black community. The black community.
All right, let's stick to the top. Yeah, let's not. Let's just stick to the LGBT plus community. A political football. How so?
I'm quoting not Martin Luther King, Malcolm X. They have been used as a political football by both sides.
Yeah, is it a topic that has been politicized?
Fair.
Is it a topic that has been politicized? Sure.
It's not fair.
You're right. I don't think it should be politicized. Yes, it should not be politicized.
The LGBTQ community. Yeah. I'm not attacking you, nor am I attacking black people. I'm saying they have been targeted and turned into scapegoats. The black community, the gay community, and other marginalized communities have been scapegoated.
Correct.
And specifically targeted. And see, like I'm not. Like you got really sensitive. I'm not.
I just don't know if we disagree. Hold on, official. I'm only looking for debate, so I'm just confused. Like it sounds like we agree, maybe, or I'm just. What's going on here? Like, do we agree or not?
So the marginalized communities have become scapegoated. Another thing that I don't like is pink washing. Pink washing is a big.
All right, we agree. Get out of here. We agree. Fuck. Jesus, guys, I am only looking for debate, so only people who disagree with me, please. You're preaching to the choir here. Sounds like we agree on whatever most of you said. All right, let's get to the next one. Looking for ops, please. You just wanted a friend. I mean, I get that, but I disagree on. Oh my god, it's because you were taking forever, official. Fast car, hello.
What's going on?
Hey, not much. I just need to know your age. How old are you?
29.
Okay. And do you have an issue with the LGBT plus community?
Well, I mean, I think it's kind of complicated. Would you equate because the prompt is, why do you hate the LGBTQIA plus community, right? But I can think something's wrong and that not equate to hate, right?
So what do you think is wrong with it?
Well, I don't think it's wrong, but would you say that saying it's wrong is equating to hate?
I mean, it depends on the context. In this situation, no. I mean, I would say, it depends on the reasoning. But yeah, I would say, generally speaking, if somebody finds this to be wrong and they don't have a valid reason, which I've never heard a valid reason, yeah, I would say that's hateful.
Okay, and Well, if I think it's wrong and I don't express hate, wouldn't that be tolerant?
How's it wrong? What about it is wrong? And then I guess we can go from there.
Well, why do you think it's right?
Because it's human rights.
Yeah, I think people should be able to express themselves as who they are, so long as it's with consenting adults.
And is that like a psychological preference?
What,
Can you,
being
can you
gay or
appeal to
trans
anything
or
when you
what?
make that claim?
What do you mean?
Well, like you saying it's good, is that like a psychological preference that you hold?
No, it's not that it's good or bad. I just think it's who people are. I don't think like it's not good or bad to have blonde hair. It just is, right? Like it's. I don't think it's like a moral thing, you know.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I mean, I don't really have an opinion on it, and I don't think MAGA has any hatred for them. I think, if anything, they're tolerant if they live with them.
Well, I mean, I would say since they vote for somebody who's actively harming them and votes for a party that's actively harming them, at the very least, they're ignorant to the fact of that, and at worst, they're absolutely supporting it and going along with it.
Like what steps have been taken to actively harm?
Yeah, so Trump's had 2 executive orders, and this is just 2 out of many, but banning gender-affirming care for anyone under the age of 19, and we have seen objectively that it has helped their rates of self-unaliving, depression, and substance abuse, and then kicking trans people out of the military as well, on a sole basis that they're trans. I'd say those 2 things alone are very, very harmful.
Well, I think serving the military is like a right.
Yeah, but like they were kicked out on the sole basis that they're transgender and nothing else. No other reasoning except for that.
Well, here's where I start to draw issues with transgenderism, because the prompt is LGBTQIA. But I think it's interesting because I work as an EMT.
Okay.
And it seems to me that you know that's very low bearing on medical care, but it seems to me that the only delusion that presents in the mind that you, as a care provider, reinforce is transgenderism. It's not.
Again, it's not an ism. Not an ism.
It's
okay. So, tell me how schizophrenia and being transgender are relatable.
Well, from my point of view, in a lot of years of medical research, is it was a psychological disorder.
Well, I mean, currently as we see it today, being transgender is not a psychological disorder. Now, you're talking about gender dysphoria, which is in the DSM,
Well,
but that's not the same thing as being.
Right?
No. Being transgender is not in the DSM.
Well, yeah, I mean, but that's in debate, right?
No, there's no debate about that.
Well, but hold on. But at one point, being gay was seen as like a mental disorder, right? It's like just because something at one point was seen a certain way doesn't make it so. Like, what about being trans do you believe qualifies it as a mental disorder? See it, Corey.
Philosophically, I see it as a rejection of your own identity. I think it's a way to influence control over your world.
Okay, so mental disorder is a clinically significant condition that affects a person's thinking, mood, behavior, and emotional regulation. These conditions cause substantial distress or impair on an individual's ability to function daily, and it can be short-term or chronic. So how would being trans in of itself meet that criteria? Like in of itself?
Well, I mean, just the first part of what you said.
Mm-hmm. Affects a person's thinking, mood, or behavior, or emotional regulation?
Yeah, I mean, I would argue that thinking you are a man, you are born a man, and thinking you are a woman would just describe that disorder.
No one's born a man.
Yeah. For one, they're not born a man, but like you might be referring to like potentially if there's a distress that some trans people have associated with it, but they don't inherently have a distress associated with it. Is what I'm saying. Like some are very okay. No, not at all. Like I mean, Mitri, you can speak towards it, but
so there's not
an inherent distress.
Suicidality to treat, right?
But I'm saying there's not an inherent distress associated with it. Overall, is there a higher unaliving rate? Yeah, for sure. We can get into those reasons, but that doesn't mean every single person does who is trans. Does that make sense?
Well, this I find difficult to understand is you are propping these people up as if they require treatment because of their increased rate of suicidality, but you're not willing to admit that this condition is attributed to those increased rates of suicidality.
It's not because there's no condition. You know what I find really funny, though, that I do think is actually a little bit of a difference, is that men will come up here to talk to Doug about the demographic that is also on the panel. I'm a transgender woman. I'm right here. You can ask me anything, and you're talking to Doug about me as if I'm not here.
Well, I mean, he was the one responding, so I don't see how you could be upset about that.
Because it's his life, so obviously he was having the conversation. But if you have questions about a trans person, talk to a trans person.
Well, I don't think the person in question at all is relative to the responses they provide.
Oh, okay. So really, you would just rather hear from a man is really what it comes down to. Somebody that you perceive to be a quote unquote normal man is somebody you'd rather listen to. That's fine.
No,
Go
what I
ahead.
said is what I said was
Okay.
the person giving the responses doesn't matter. It's not
It
your straw
does.
manning.
So I don't remember where we're at. You believe that you said you believe it is a mental disorder, even if I grant you that just for a quick second, does that warrant the treatment that they're often getting from mostly people on the right, like the huge ridicule, the criticism, the way that they talk about them? Like, shouldn't, if you believe somebody had a mental disorder, to maybe treat them with empathy and not like they're just a piece of shit?
Well, this goes back to my first point. Now, is it's the modern viewpoint on this treatment is to reinforce this what is considered to be a delusion, which you don't. For a schizophrenic patient, you wouldn't say you hear voices. Oh yes.
Delusion.
What?
Well, I'd say a significant amount of people.
No, that's not true.
Those people that ridicule you, is that not what they believe?
Yeah, but how many people is that? How often does that happen? It's not the overwhelming amount you might think.
Well, I mean, it's
Recent polls
significant
say
enough to be in other countries.
85% of Americans believe that trans people are entitled to the rights that humans deserve.
Yeah, but I mean, we put limits on those rights that people deserve. Like, I don't think it's good for kids to be taking androgynous hormones.
It doesn't matter what you think. Science says that it's not happening for starters.
Science says it's not happening, so minors receiving
you're telling us
gender affirming care isn't
minors
happening.
now. If you're talking like 8-9-year-olds now, but what are you talking like in any scenario that they shouldn't get any hormones whatsoever?
Specifically for gender affirming care, I think that's problematic. I mean, if you could point to a medical condition where they're low on a specific hormone,
well,
or
okay,
or anti-inflammatory steroids, I think is like valuable.
So if you believe it's a delusion, what would be the treatment for it in your eyes?
Not reinforcing the delusion.
But what would be the treatment, though?
Not reinforcing the delusion.
But you're telling me not. Like, what would then be the treatment?
Not reinforcing the delusion.
You keep saying the negative. Just what would be the solution?
Wouldn't that be a treatment with?
So you just leave them alone. Just leave them alone.
That isn't
leave them alone. Do nothing. No treatment. Nothing.
You try to communicate with BPD patients. You try to communicate with. I mean, yeah, you just wouldn't reinforce the delusion.
But just leave them alone. Do nothing. Like, I'm confused. Like, how would you help treat that? If you view it as a mental disorder, how would you treat it?
You'd have somebody counsel them. Who wouldn't reinforce the delusion.
Understand that most
and then
trans
say
people
what?
go to counseling.
The same way people are counseled.
You understand that trans people get therapy and counseling, right?
Yeah, but the option of reinforcing the delusion is the common one.
Counseling works a lot better when you are affirming who they are rather than telling them that they're not that person and that they have to still be something that just because society deems it to be appropriate. We're not here to make you comfortable, by the way. So if you're looking to be comfortable, wrong place.
I don't have an opinion on your existence. I mean, I'm not comforted or uncomforted by you.
Well, my point is that this has been something that's been studied for a long period of time, and we do know what the treatment is. We know that gender-affirming care to date is the best form of treatment that exists. We know it's the treatment that lowers their self-unaliving rate the most, the depression, anxiety, substance abuse, all of those things the most, and that's the best form of treatment that we have today.
Well, I mean, do you advocate for minors doing this treatment?
I advocate for anyone who has severe gender dysphoria or a gender dysphoria for that matter at all to get treated the way that the doctor feels most appropriate. So if in the rare cases in which a minor does have severe enough gender dysphoria to the point where they've seen a counselor, they've gotten antidepressants, they've done this, they've done that, they've done everything, and they still have severe self-unaliving thoughts, fuck yeah, I would want them to get the form of treatment that would help them out the most. I mean, what else would you have to lose at that point? I mean, you know, like they've tried everything. I don't want them to unalive themselves.
So I'm curious, from your viewpoint, is gender somewhat subjective?
Yeah, I would say gender is subjective, sure.
And how do you differentiate gender and sex?
Yeah, sex would be like more so like one's like fixed traits, you know, something like you know, their chromosomes and genitalia and things like that, whereas gender would be more so like a psychosocial construct, one's like how they view themselves in relation to sex.
So there's feminine and masculine traits in this worldview.
Yeah, I mean they can be, they are seen as feminine and masculine, sure. They can be.
So feminine and masculine are derivatives of what definitions?
What do you mean derivative of what? Well, we associate with that. I don't think any trait is inherently feminine or masculine. I think we just as a society have sort of put labels upon such. Like men used to wear high heels, makeup, wigs, etc. Right? Today we'd view that as feminine. 300 years ago, not so much.
Yeah, but like other things like bone density and chromosomes, right, are specific. So there are natural distinctions.
Yeah, but even yeah.
What's my bone density?
Well, what were you born?
Why does that matter? And what does bone
predictably
matter, Tenny?
It doesn't really matter. My point is that there's natural definitions between a man and a woman, and I think going against that is inherently unnatural.
Completely attributed to sex, though. That's not about your gender.
Well, I mean, it's funny because
it's gender specific. It's not.
All the definitions and words we use to describe sex are derivative definitions from gender.
Disagreed.
Well, no, because you know, a trait of, or like one thing that can help define somebody's sex would be their genitalia, and that wouldn't like specifically be something off of gender or chromosomes or something like that. I mean, now if you're talking about like soft skin or facial hair or something, okay, like maybe that would be different, but not all things.
So besides the human race, is there anything else that experiences like confusion of gender? Because if you believe in any credence of like evolution, like there's continuity between animal species and human species and plant species.
Yeah, well, and guys, we can get to new guests at 40,000 likes. By the way, keep tapping and sharing. Send your harmony if you can. Well, but gender is inherent to humans, whereas other animals don't have those things because, like, we don't call like a male dog a man or a boy. Sometimes we put those labels upon them, but it's not a man dog. It's a male or a female. So they don't have gender, though. They have sex. So no, they wouldn't have that.
So do male and female bears like exhibit different behaviors?
I mean, I'm not knowledgeable enough on bears, but I would imagine to some degree, sure. But nobody's denying otherwise. Yeah, but I'm not denying that males
like maternal cycles and.
I'm not denying there's not a difference between males and females. Of course there are. Like, yeah,
okay, so I mean, So if the definitions that they derive from are like concrete, what you said, like you're saying that there is no difference, and now we're just, to me it seems we're just using subjective words now to define something that is objective.
What's subjective?
Well, your sex and your gender, to me, they're the same.
They're not. Sorry, science disagrees with
exactly the same. Like one and the same. Like one could be used in place of the other. Like man can always be used in place of male.
Yeah.
Like every single time.
I believe so.
Okay. So and only with humans, right? Not with other animals, or would that be the case with other animals too?
As far as I know.
Okay, so every male dog is a man?
Yeah.
It's a man?
Well, I mean, every male dog is a male
You're
dog.
disingenuous. What else do you want to say? Go ahead and slur before we drop you, because you're irritating me.
I'm wrong when I say every male dog's a male.
No. Every male dog's a man, not a man.
Well, I mean, that's ridiculous because man implies human.
Right, exactly. And hold on, let me read this out loud. Michelle, thank you for the 2 on Venmo. It says, self-unaliving rates among paramedics, EMTs, and firefighters are higher than the rates of general public. For the general public, it's 13 out of every 100,000. And for firefighters, EMTs, and paramedics, it's 18. Are they suddenly not normal or deserving of care? Thank you, Michelle. That's a really good point. I appreciate that. Thank you, Michelle. That's a good question. Are they not deserving? Are they suddenly not normal, deserving of care because they have higher self-unaliving rates? EMTs, firefighters, etc.
Well, I mean, they receive a lot of benefit. I mean, my experience is that there's a lot of group sessions available to them. Whether they're utilized or not is the issue because there's stigma around seeking the care.
Yeah, but like they're still seen as humans and nothing inherently wrong with them, though, right?
Well, I mean, wouldn't they have post-traumatic stress?
Yeah, but should we affirm that delusion?
Of course not. What, we should encourage them to be stressed out in the middle of the night for no reason? That would be the affirmation, right?
Well, exactly, and same thing here, right? When it comes to
That's a
transgender
delusion.
people. Well, no, but when it comes to transgender people, we again want to be able to treat the symptoms, right? The depression, self-unaliving, all that stuff. And again, the best way we know to date is via gender-affirming care. Now, if you know of any other ways, I'd be happy to hear it, and I'm sure other people would be happy to hear it. But this is the best way we currently know.
I just don't think you should affirm the delusion, and the fact that they're allowed to is. I mean, not allowed to. I don't know.
But the data says otherwise, though.
But
Like we know via gender affirming care that the self-unaliving rate drops compared to so if you have, and I can show you this research. If you look at transgender people who got gender affirming care versus transgender people who wanted gender affirming care but did not get it, there's I think it's a 67% drop of self-unaliving. And I can get the exact percentage. A 67% drop. Do you have something that's better?
But it's still marginally high, right?
But don't you? What do you have that's better?
Yeah,
than
just
that drop.
Not encouraging this delusion.
But once again, when we compare it to transgender people who wanted this but didn't get it, there was a big drop. So if that were true, then that group wouldn't have seen a big difference. It just sounds like you don't want them to have lower rates of self-unaliving. Like that's what it sounds like, because you don't have a better alternative.
Because we make them uncomfortable.
I mean, I don't really care if you're purple, brown, or have polka dots. It doesn't really matter.
It's not about color, it's about gender. But go ahead.
It seems to bother you enough to where you don't want them to get the care that we know at this point is the best form of care we have for them. Again, it would be one thing if you had an alternative. If you had an alternative, that would be one thing, but you don't. You just say do nothing. We already know doing nothing doesn't help.
Well, I didn't say do nothing. I said not reinforce the delusion.
That would be doing nothing.
That wouldn't be doing nothing. That'd be like counseling and therapy.
But that's already part of gender affirming care.
I don't think it is when the conversation is.
See, that's
when
the
the
problem.
conversation permits it.
No,
that's totally wrong.
Okay, I'm going to talk now. You just said what all of you stupid motherfuckers like to start off a comment with, I think. I think, I feel, I believe does not matter. It doesn't matter. What you think doesn't matter. Counseling is 100% a part of gender affirming care for trans people. And I've been through much more counseling than most people in my life. And that's a good thing because it's helped me get through this. And I appreciate people for it. But you saying I think doesn't matter because it does happen. We all have care teams. We have doctors of all kinds, medical and psychological, and we deal with our care team to get through this. So I think you're wrong.
Yeah, well, I would say that the care in itself at this state of time encourages the delusion when the
Science
conversation
disagrees
is,
with
is
you.
how you feel about yourself.
Science disagrees with you. It's not a delusion. Anything else?
Well, I mean, yeah, science doesn't
Anything
necessarily mean
else?
it's right.
Science disagrees with
If
you.
that were
Anything
true,
else?
though, trans people wouldn't have existed 20 years ago, 50, 100 years ago, but they did.
Yeah, but they've increased in representation, right?
Well, no. I mean, people have been more
It's the knowledge of how
open.
transgender people work.
People,
We've
yeah,
increased the knowledge of how to identify.
Yeah, people have been more open about it, but not the actual number of transgender people that exist. No.
Yeah, again, like the standard of care now isn't telling people that they're wrong. It's affirming the delusion that you are.
It's not a delusion. Say
separate
delusion
from-
one more time.
But again, you're not offering an alternative, though. That's the problem here. You're not.
My alternative is you don't do that.
But
the conversation starts as, hey,
but we see
listen,
the
I
studies
understand that
show
you
doing
feel
nothing.
that you are a woman, but
Okay,
you are
but
not.
that would lead to them killing themselves more because we see the studies over and over and over again saying what you're saying, and it leads to them unaliving themselves more. And you seem to be okay with that.
Well, for that, you'd have to like reference transgenderism unaliving rates.
It's not,
Okay,
it's
you're
not
done.
transgenderism. That's it, man.
I'm
Goodbye.
tired of the
Fuck,
isms. I'm
man.
tired of you calling it a delusion. I owe you a galaxy. I owe you a galaxy.
Fucking frustrating, man. Taylor, thank you for the 5 on Venmo. Give me 1 second to pull it up. We are looking for ops, guys. Anybody who has an issue with the LGBT plus community or voted for Trump, hit the request button at the bottom. Follow Meecher, follow myself. Send in the heart me at the top left. God, why can't I get to this? Sorry. All right, yeah, Taylor, thank you. Says, guest is refusing to accept new info and learn because of his biases. Transphobes are just obsessed with knowing everyone's genitalia, which is effing weird. Let's kick him. Taylor, thank you so much. Good timing on that. That actually worked out really well. Taylor, thank you so much, W. Taylor, in the comments.
Because I'm psychic, I knew that was there.
I think we are all collectively getting frustrated there. I was trying to be as patient as possible, and I think you definitely were too.
I just can't stand mediocre white people.
It's just hard to come to any other conclusion other than they do want them to be harmed and they do hate them. Like, what other conclusion can I come to in that scenario? Like, what else would it be?
I mean, it really is what it is. I wish they would just come out and say it with their full chest.
Attention.
Stop. That's my wheelchair, sorry.
You're all good, no worries.
Whenever I back up, my wheelchair yells attention at me. For me or the people around me, but whatever.
Guys, remember, only opposition. If you agree with Meecher and myself, please drop in a request box. All right, finally we got to a guest. Hello? Hi. I just need to know your age. How old are you?
34.
Alrighty. And do you have an issue with the LGBT plus community?
Oh, I'm from Morocco, so we don't really, kind of recognize these people in the way you guys in America do, right?
Okay. So what do you got?
But it's
What
interesting.
issue do you have?
It's interesting. Yeah.
What issue do you have, though?
Did you hear what I said?
You said something about it being interesting?
No. Okay. Sorry. I don't think you heard. So we don't recognize these people in the same way you guys do in America. So when I come to these spaces and I look at the flag behind you, I know that's a green screen, but when I look at the flag behind you and I see these things, I don't not familiar with it. We don't understand it in the way that
Okay.
you guys do.
Okay.
But I think it's
So
maybe
what's
it's
the
a
problem?
reflection of where America is societally. Maybe they're on the decline, and he would say that.
Okay.
Some would
What would
disagree, but
why is recognizing transgender people meaning that we're on a decline? What would be bad
no,
about that?
it could reflect many. Some people would say that it reflects many things about the society and where it is, and
Okay. Well, what
I
would
don't
you
know
say
if it,
though? What would you say though? Not what others. What would you
yeah.
say?
Well, I think for me, I respect the laws that are in my country, right? So, and the laws that are in place go against this whole thing, right? This
Okay.
go against what
Go
I'm
against
sure
what specifically?
what your
But
views would be,
go against what
but
specifically
yeah,
though?
so
Like be more
that I
specific.
guess that
I know,
the
but can you be more
same,
specific?
yeah, I'm gonna say it. I think there's our connection is choppy, but the same-sex individuals can get married. For one example, that cannot, like,
Okay. Why is
yeah,
that a
it's
problem?
illegal. It's
Yeah.
illegal.
Why?
Well, it's not
Okay.
just,
Why?
it's illegal.
But why is that a problem? Gay people and lesbians married, get
Well,
married.
for in Morocco, like it's just it's a matter of fact. It's illegal,
But no. But
but
why is it a problem in general? Laws aside, let's not do an appeal to legality. Why is it a problem?
a problem in general, like in a
Yes.
general sense, yeah.
Yes. Hmm.
Well, look, I think for my answer to that, I think anybody, besides what my government thinks about this, I think anyone should be led to do whatever they want to do.
Okay. But
Right? But you should respect the laws of the place that you're in. If
yeah,
that
No.
we're not talking about
includes
legality. We're not talking about legality here, though. That's a
but it's
different
very important.
conversation. But we're not talking about legality. No, I don't think you should. I think if you're a gay person and you exist in that country, whatever that country is, no, I don't think you should respect those laws. No.
Yeah. Well, it's the same, legality is the same thing that allows you to chant your flag and to preach your opinions, right? So I would ask you
Mm.
to respect the
No,
legality from my
absolutely
side as
not.
well.
Because here's the deal: you're appealing to
Yeah.
legality, and we're not. We don't care. People are allowed to be who people are. Just because your laws don't allow for quote unquote gay people, there are gay people that exist in Morocco. Gay people do exist in Morocco.
I'm sure there's some people that are like that, and they can
No, they're not
express
some. A
themselves.
minimum of 10%
They
are
can
going to
express
be gay.
themselves,
But
in every way they want to.
are
It's just they have to be in accordance with the law, right?
okay.
But I
But
think separate from the
do you agree with
legalistic,
those laws? Do you agree with those
I
laws?
mean, whether I agree or not, I think okay. Then my
No.
answer to that,
Yeah.
my answer to that question, I think those laws were created from an aspect of how can we better our society, and as of right now, I think society
Just
is
answer the
better off
question.
than.
Do you agree with those laws? Yes or
Yeah, I'm
no?
answering.
You're
I think
conveniently
yeah,
no.
I'm answering the question. I don't like black or white, yes or no answers, but I'll give you my
Yes
answer
or no
nonetheless.
answer.
I'll give you
Bro,
my
just answer
answer.
the fucking question.
Yeah, I'm gonna answer. I think the intention of the law.
Okay, we're going to try it again. It's a yes or a no. When you unmute, say yes or no.
It's not that hard. You're allowed to give a follow up, but just give yes or no, and then give your follow up afterwards.
You should have no problem with me giving my answer, however way
Oh
I
dear
choose to
God.
answer.
I feel like
It's not
if
like
the answer was no, that you don't agree with it, you would have said it. I feel like the answer is yes, and you just don't want to say it.
He did this
it's
on Red Live earlier, too. He's just, he doesn't answer anything.
no, I'm answering. I'm answering.
Yes or
It's
no,
it's
then.
the way I'm
Yes or
answering.
no. Yes or no. Yes or no.
Do you agree with
Well, you
them?
don't have to control
Yes
my
or no.
answer.
Yes or no. Yes or no.
Oh my goodness,
Should it be legal? Yes or no? Because being legal is essentially a
that's
black
a
and
good
white thing.
question.
So should it
That's a
be
good
legal?
question.
Yes or no?
I mean, that's up to Parliament, right? That's up to Parliament in
Oh my
Morocco.
God! Why are you not answering the question?
That's what
I'm
the
asking
answer would be.
ought to. Oh my God! Ought
Who
it
would
be
have the
legal?
authority to recognize that? It would be Parliament,
I'm
right? So
asking
then,
you, in your perfect world, in your perfect country,
yeah.
should it be legal or illegal?
Look, I don't know. I've never been in a position to recognize such a
Are
Oh.
you
grandiose,
allowed to have an opinion in Morocco?
legalistic
Oh
sense. Oh my
God!
goodness.
Are you
Damn it,
allowed to
bro!
have an opinion in Morocco?
Of course we are.
Okay, then we're asking your fucking opinion, yes
Oh,
or no.
sorry, you don't
Just
have to get
answer
vulgar.
the
You
You
don't have to
question.
get
fucking
vulgar.
agree or
You
not?
refusing to answer it.
No, I gave you my answer. You don't
No, you
like my
didn't.
answer.
No, you didn't. You're not
Okay.
answering it. Yes or no?
Yeah.
Should it be legal or not?
First of all, I don't like this person's vulgar attitude, but I'll answer your
I don't
question. I
care.
have no
I don't
problem.
care. I don't
Yeah,
care if you do.
I have no problem with your question. I think definitely, I think definitely if we consider all the aspects into creating a good society, I wouldn't see why something of some sort would be a net negative, but it just depends on how
Okay.
we really consider it.
In which context would it be anything but not
Well,
allowed, or anything but allowed?
well, I think we have to respect individual religions. So not as to impose
You can do
these,
both.
not as to
Yeah,
impose these ideas or
you can do
ideals
both.
of how, hold on, it's not to impose our ideas or ideals of how we want our society on other people's religions.
You can do
So
both.
I think that
You can
that would
allow gay
be,
marriage
of
and respect
course, of
people's
course.
religion.
That's what I'm saying. Maybe if you understand what I'm saying, you would maybe understand that we agree in some aspects. But like I think we need to be considerate of people's orthodox religion,
No,
very
not if
religious
their
aspects,
views
and not
harm people.
to.
Not if their views harm
No,
other
I'm not
people's
saying that.
existence.
Well, of course, if people come with the intention to do harm, that would be illegal, depending on what they do. But I'm not saying they're
Right.
doing that. I'm saying we have to consider our extent of putting up someone's beliefs or opinions on how they want society and other people. So if we were to allow this one thing, we need to be considered on how it's imposed, because at the end of the day, we want a fair and just society and equal.
Okay, and how does this take away from that? And guys, new guest at 50,000 likes. We
Because
get
we
to
need
that
to make
point.
sure that our aspirations to having, the flag behind you does not impose on other people or encroaches on other
It's not.
people's liberties.
It's not.
That flag
It's a
has
flag.
never imposed on anybody.
But we have to make sure it doesn't. That you
It
agree
It's
never
with
a
me?
has.
flag. It's a flag. How can a flag impose upon anybody?
Well,
It's
the
literally just
ideas of the
colors.
flag, the ideas of the flag,
It's
and the
not. We want people
aspirations
to
of
do
the
what they
people
want.
behind it.
But it's not.
I'm sure. I'm sure.
Letting
I'm
gay
sure
people,
you
trans
come
people,
from a
lesbian
good
people
intention.
exist.
Look,
Yeah,
I
but
don't. I don't doubt, Doug. I don't doubt your intentions, but I'm sure other people who associate with your group might have more other intentions. That's what I'm trying
what
to say.
intentions?
That we have
Wait,
to
wait, wait.
consider.
What negative intentions can somebody have
Well,
of part of
because
the LGBT plus community?
if we're coming from a position of how we want the society to be, we need to be considered that the people that fly under your banner, some of the people might come from more malicious intentions.
Like
They
what?
want
Like what?
they might want to impose their ideas again on other people.
How
So
so?
I don't doubt
How so? You got to be
that
more specific here, man. You're being very vague. How would you impose being gay
it's
upon
not because
someone or being
the
trans upon
question
somebody?
the
Tell me
question
how
is a
you would impose it.
hypothetical.
Just tell me how you would impose being
Yeah,
gay or trans or whatever upon somebody.
just like how you impose any other political ideology or
This
faith,
isn't a
right?
political ideology. How would you
But it's the
impose being gay
same. But
upon
it's the
someone? Just
same.
answer it.
But it's the, sa-
How would you
it's the
impose being
same.
gay upon someone,
Hold
though?
on.
That's it.
It's very similar because your question was a
No,
hypothetical
it's
about how you
not.
want
Because you can't
society.
impose a sexuality upon someone. I couldn't make you
No,
gay no matter how hard I tried.
I can impose sexuality, but I can impose my ideals of how I want this society.
Your country already has. You literally have
Hold on.
outlawed.
I'm answering the question.
You've literally outlawed gay people. You've
So
imposed your sexuality onto other people that live in your country.
You are being
yeah.
very, very intentionally vague, and it's starting to get very frustrating.
I'm going back to your question, which was how we want or how I want a society to be like. It was a hypothetical. It was a good question. That's why I keep on going back on it because I
But
like your intention behind that. And look, I don't even doubt your own intention behind what you're doing here or about how you're spreading your message, with the flag behind you. But I think other people associated with your group might have alternate
okay,
intentions,
like
especially when
what?
we're
Like what? Like
speaking
what?
from
Give
a
an example.
grandiose
Give an example. Give an
perspective.
example.
Well, of
Okay.
course, I think anyone has the ability to impose their own ideas or ideals on anyone else in a way that
How so?
encroaches on their liberties.
Give me an
How
example of
so?
imposing. Yes, give me an example of imposing
If
LGBT
I
plus
if I'm
things upon people.
like if a certain group puts a lot of effort into just putting their ideals on other people, that's a very
Like
grand, but it's a very
heterosexual
well.
people. Like
You're driving me
heterosexual.
insane.
It could be on anyone.
Like so you're actually on our side. Thank you. Like heterosexual people.
Guys, 50,000 likes, new guest. Okay, 50,000 likes, new guest.
Anybody can and is able to impose their ideals or
Disagree.
ideas in
No, that's
a
not true.
very encroaching way.
No.
Anybody,
Disagree.
and that's the
But
problem.
no one
It
trying to force people
requires
to be gay.
That includes
Here we go.
this.
1 out of 10, 1 out of 10, 1 out of 10, 1 out of 10.
You
You've been
might
talking a lot.
know.
You've been talking a lot. Me sure go or I go, but you've been talking a fucking shitload. Like
Yes,
this,
man.
if we look at all of the words that have been spoken, you probably have spoke like 80% of the words. It seems,
That's why
right?
I'm good at this stuff, man.
Yeah, that doesn't make you good. It makes you annoying. Go ahead, Mitra, if you were trying to speak.
You're not good at this. You have 12 followers, and why are you following me? But anyway, what I was going to
Oh,
say was
I'm
it
a fan of
requires.
you. I'm a fan of you.
No, you're not.
I am a fan.
Not anymore.
I'm still a fan.
No, you're
No,
not.
I'm removing you. Anyway,
Don't remove me. I'm a
regardless
fan.
of any of that.
All right. Listen, I don't understand how you can impose being gay or
So
trans
where I
or
come
whatever
from when
upon
I say
anybody, and no one's trying to
it's
do
it's
that.
a, it's definitely possible and it can happen just like any
How?
other.
How can you
It's
impose
not
being
it's
gay
not
upon someone?
you're not imposing being gay, you're imposing how you want society
Like what?
how you want society to conform
Give
around
an
this.
example. Give an
So it's
example. Give an example.
it's like I want my opinion, someone will be imposing their opinions or ideas of a society that is more radically acceptance of this group. That's what I'm trying to say. It's not just being gay as itself, but it's more of a
Yeah, we want people to be more accepting of different people that exist and people
but
with different
how we
backgrounds and
accept
views.
how those people
All
impose
right.
their
Somebody hated
ideas,
you
that's
so
the
much
problem.
they decided to kick you by paying you or by paying me. Veronica, thank you for the 20 on Cash App. Thank you so much. Let's have a big W for Veronica in the chat. It says, sparing you a bigger headache. Thank you, Veronica. I appreciate it. I already had a headache, but thank you. Thank you so much. Oh my God, that was extremely frustrating. Guys, we're looking for ops, please. People that disagree, people.
You can impose. Just kidding.
Hello.
Hi, Anne. How are
Hello,
you
can you
doing?
guys hear me?
Yes. I just need to know your age, please. How old are you?
Hi, I'm good, thank you. I hope everyone is good. I'm
Doing great.
18.
Okay.
September
And
10th, 2007.
okay, that's fine. And
Okay,
do you have an
so
issue
I
with the
haven't
LGBT plus
been,
community?
I do not actually.
Okay,
I haven't been on the live so
that's fine.
long.
I'm only
Sorry, I
looking
just
for
wanted to say
debates.
happy
That's
Pride
fine.
to
And
everyone.
I appreciate it, Anne.
I know. I just wanted to say happy Pride to everyone.
Thank
And
you.
yeah,
I am only looking for opposition, though, but I appreciate that. That means a lot. I'm going to go ahead and bring you down. He's not following me anymore. Okay, I didn't even realize he was. But all right. We'll get to the next. All right. Okay. All right. We don't have the ambassador request box. All right, guys, and also this. Listen, I get it. I get it that the way I host lives is not always going to be everybody's cup of tea. I get it. I get it. Maybe sometimes I may go about it in ways that you may potentially disagree with, or maybe I don't address something that you potentially may disagree with. I get it. That's fine. And I'm always open to criticism and people helping me correct myself if I say or do something wrong. I'm all for that. But, I think there is a difference between that and tone policing, right? So, if at the end of the day you don't like how I do things or like how I host or whatever, that's fine. You're welcome to watch somebody else. But I cannot be perfect with everything. I can't address every single thing that's said. It's impossible to do that. I do try my best. And at the end of the day, remember, we are talking with people that we disagree with, assuming you're someone who's a friendly. We're talking with people that we disagree with. By the very nature of these conversations, they're going to say things that we disagree with. It's by the very nature of it. So if it's something that you don't like that's being said and they're saying something like, it's sort of part of life, right? Again, that doesn't mean that, I just let them share anything, say anything, just let them just go all out for minutes on end or whatever. So I'm always open to criticism, but just keep that in mind. It's like the very nature of doing this, that people are going to say things you don't like. I do my best to be able to correct things, guys. I do my best. But yeah, we are looking for anybody that voted for Trump or has an issue with the LGBT plus community, okay? And that's also why, too, I try my best to be able to have representation when I am doing this topic or any topic for that matter, because there's inherently going to be things that I don't catch just because, I'm not, I'm not, if we're talking about I'm stopping in regards to trans people, I'm not trans, right? So I'm not going to be able to, I'm not going to be privy to every single thing. So that's why I try my best to have people on who are of that community. So, yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, when I'm on your live specifically, I try not to nitpick at everything your guest says, so we don't get caught up.
No, you're
And
good.
then,
But I don't want you at the same time totally changing who you are just because I may do my lives a little bit differently. I don't want you. I like having you up for a reason. So, I like who you are as a person. The chat likes who you are as a person. So certainly be yourself and don't censor yourself for fear that, I may not respond to things the same way,
Right.
But no, I get it. I just like to give you a hard time. Didn't he say, you're all good. I wasn't talking about anybody specifically. All right, let's get to this guest over here. All right, Owen, hello. Hi, Owen. How you doing? Owen? All right, goodbye, Owen. All right, once again, if you disagree, if you vote for Trump, etc., hit the request button at the bottom. Oh, excuse me. Is everybody having a really good Monday, though? Monday afternoon, evening?
Yeah.
Thank you, Izzy.
TikTok was being ugly to me earlier when I was on my lives. They were gross.
Who was on your life?
TikTok was like just TikTok in general. Like I went live in there. I got like 4 violations. Like I started off my live and I didn't have anybody even join for the first like 5 minutes. I'm like, wow, what is going on? Anyway. I fought through it.
You what?
I just kept fighting through it. We were good.
TikTok hates us. TikTok can be rough. Being super sensitive. Remember, guys, if you enjoy the live, click the follow button on the top left. Make sure you subscribe on YouTube. And follow me as well if you can.
How's your YouTube been going, by the way?
Pretty good. The past few lives have been going pretty well. Let's see, the past couple, I think not including the one earlier today, I got like over 10,000 views in total, which is good. So it's slowly growing, slowly. Speaking of that, guys, if you don't follow me or subscribe to me on TikTok, make sure you do so. Even if you don't really routinely watch on YouTube, that's fine. Just at the very least, if you can subscribe, that would help out. My ex-husband, baby daddy, my child is account. 2 years clean, they got bro. Nice, Amy. That's terrific. Congrats on that. All right, next guest. Typo. Thank you. Hi, Typo. How you doing?
All right, mate. I know this is going to be a controversial thing.
I just need to know your age, please. How old are you?
I'm 49. Can I lie about my age?
As long as you're above 18, that's fine. And do you have an issue with the LGBT plus community or a criticism or something like that?
Oh, it's mainly see, I grew up on a farm. Let's say I've used derogatory terms to describe everybody that's different to me from my childhood. Grew up in about as multicultural as a bowl of sugar, and like anybody with a sexual preference other than my own was a novelty.
Okay.
So when I was growing up, those things were sort of normalized. I'm not condoning any of the stuff when you're growing up, but surrounded by farm boys and I wasn't really open to stuff, and I used to think that anybody that wasn't, I don't want to use the word normal, but I'm gonna use it as a reference. Yeah. It wasn't, if you're not around it and it's not seen, and everybody says it's wrong, then it seems to be wrong. Yeah.
Yeah. So are you in a disagreement? Are you? Is there any issue you have with the LGBT plus community? It sounds like you might agree with us.
Yeah, because then I went to where I was going is I went to the airport. So I started working at the airport as a baggage handler. Then I went to manager, and then but part of my role was working with upstairs, and upstairs had a lot of people in the community.
I just want to make sure, Typo. Hold on, Typo. Do you have an issue with the LGBT plus community? Yes, because I'm only looking for debates here.
Yep. The debate I have is the people that I worked with. I ended up going to to bars with them, and look, I am as straight as a die. But I opened up that community, and I've seen some things that I agreed with 100%. But what I didn't agree with was I seen the people that went through life that that just tried to. How it opened my mind was because they were exactly like me, had lives like me, had partners like me, had kids like me.
But you got to
everything.
get to the
But
point, man. I'm sorry, but you got to get to the point. What are you trying to get at?
it's the people that go out and just have to throw it in people's faces. I think it doesn't do it. It doesn't do the community any good, or like everybody's community.
Okay. What do you mean by throwing it in their face?
Like if I think if you want to dress as a woman, and I'm not going to use the vernacular, so I don't know. If you want to dress as a woman and be a woman and whatever, that's fantastic. But some people don't. They don't. It's like they deliberately dress in a way that they're not trying to be a woman. They're trying to be something else. So
What do you mean?
That
what are they trying to be?
They want to stand out that they're a man dressed as a woman, but yet they want us to accept them as a woman.
How do you know they're doing it for attention?
Because no one walks out of the house like some of these people. No,
Well, but they
looks
do
ridiculous.
though. Well, but
Yeah, but
maybe
it
to you,
looks-
but okay, but maybe they're not doing it for attention. Maybe you just notice that because you think it looks ridiculous, but they're just
I'm
being
not
who they
saying
are.
all people. I'm an unfortunate person if I put a dress on. I'm telling you that no one would be about it. But that's okay. Then they can harden up and deal with that. But these people, some people, you have to agree that some of these people, they're doing it for shock value. It's either they don't have a mirror.
Unless you heard one of them specifically say so, I think you're just I think you're just inferring that.
Yeah, I am inferring it, but I'm trying to be like realistic. Some of this is not like it's like bikers wearing bikey leather shit to look. I'm a biker and I ride a Harley, and so I have to wear a bandana and whatever. Sometimes
Okay, well, even if they were, who gives a shit?
to.
Even if they were, who gives a shit?
No, but we're trying in society, like everything, especially when we're trying to build communities.
About this argument, what's really funny about it is that all of you that try to come up here and say that kind of thing, you all say that, but the truth is you've been given an image of what you perceive to be a trans person, and you don't even know that you're around trans people all the time because you're looking for the image that demonizes trans people that you've been fed by the conservative right and the conservative media, and you don't even know you're around trans people.
Yeah, I truly working at the airport. When I say that I was around trans people, I was, and there was a few people that I was unaware of until they shared it with me. Not that it's any of my business anyway, really. But that's what I'm saying. That they did their best to dress like what they wanted to be. Now, I'm not saying that. Say you're going to a rave and you want to dress but in general, going to work. In general, that's everybody does that. Everybody's playing dress ups.
So what's the problem? They're not playing dress up, but what's the problem though?
No, I don't. I don't mean like. I'm not trying to say that they're not being their real themselves. I mean sometimes when they overdress deliberately.
Okay, but I don't understand your point. Like, okay, you may disagree with it, whatever, but like, what's the harm that's being done? What issue are we speaking of here?
I think
other than you just don't like it. Other than
I wouldn't even say that I don't like it. I'd say that there's a cause. I had a friend that ended themselves over this.
Okay.
And I found that if yes, I'll without getting stoned. It's not normal, but it is normal.
What do you mean by normal?
If we have to learn, we have to change society.
What do you mean
that,
by
that
normal though?
it's not accepted enough to be gay, let alone trans, or it's not. And I'm not saying that that's how it should be. But if we're slowly dragging everybody into the future, we have to do it in a way that it's like civil rights. It has to be done so we win as a society. And I know you're dragging
So
dinosaurs.
what do you suggest? I don't get it. What are you suggesting? That they do it less, do it more, slow it down, speed it up?
Just like me dressing normally, like just try and like if you want to be a trans woman and you
It's not a matter of wanting.
wrong language.
Yeah, it's not a matter of
If I'm
wanting
using
to
the
be.
wrong
They are.
language, yeah. If I'm using the wrong language, I'm not trying to offend. Having a discussion, I'm not trying to offend anybody. So I want to say that. But if
We can't afford to wait for white America to be comfortable, because then people die.
I agree. I want everybody to be who they want to be. But I do believe that there's by throwing, like, if you want to, if you're a woman and you want to dress like a woman, dress like a woman. That's like
I don't get it, man.
If you want to be a man,
no,
dress like a man.
Like, are you trying to tone? I don't get your point.
I'm trying to say sometimes like I walk. I've been down the streets in the city, and it's. If I was a woman, I wouldn't walk out looking like geez.
Okay, then let them dress how they want. Okay, then if you don't want to dress that way, you don't have to. You don't have to.
I'm not telling them they can't. There's a difference between can't, but then that's what highlights them. Yeah, instead of just trying to be, just be you. It
They are
feels
being
like
them.
sometimes
They are. That's who they are.
it feels like sometimes they're trying to deliberately to make a thing. Yeah.
I think they're just being themselves. I think at the end of the day, they're just being themselves.
Hypo, if they're dressing that way to get a reaction out of somebody, then it's working because you're giving them a reaction. If they're dressing that way because that's who they are, then you're imposing your type of clothing and policing of clothing onto them, which means that problem can be solved by you looking at them and then looking away and just disregarding it.
Yeah, I would never look. I've got no. Look, you can dress any way you want. I'm not saying you can't do it. I'm saying that if it depends if you want to win the war, or you just want to keep it going. And I think these people. I think these people are trying to. I think these people are not trying to win the war. Like there's people like the people I worked with.
I'm done with you. Goodbye. Oh my god, way too much.
There's a war.
I promise. Whether anybody dressed any differently, I don't think that would change the right's opinion of trans people or whatever. I don't think that's the limiting factor. The way they're dressing. Make sure you guys give me a follow if you're enjoying live. Follow me here as well, and make sure you subscribe on YouTube if you're watching there or you want to watch there. And goodbye, guys. Yeah, that was just an odd conversation.
Exactly. I mean, there's an agenda and there's a war, and I don't know about either of them. I'm out of the fucking loop, guys.
Big time, right? All right. Again, if you disagree, make sure you hit the request button, please. All right. I'll give it a little bit more to see if we can get a guest come on up. If not, I have been live for a little bit now, so. All right. God damn it. I really need to get a new iPad. This thing is really old and it's very annoying. It doesn't register when I touch the screen. Because of map, yeah, you're going to have to show that that's a thing. And that's a thing pushed by the LGBT plus community. That's what you're going to have to show. You guys can't just make up shit.
Most of the maps are actually in the South because they're the ones that want to lower the rate of marriage.
This is true. Anytime there's legislation that comes out about lowering the age of marriage, or rather raising it from like a teenage year, Republicans always vote against it. Always, always, always. All right, let's get to discussed.
Sorry, my reception is bad, so I'm back.
Okay.
Sorry.
We spoke today.
Not today. It was earlier, but my reception was playing up. So
Okay.
hello.
What were we speaking on? I'm sorry, I speak with a lot of people.
I think what the last guest was trying to refer to is like cis men pretending to be trans and trying to ruin the trans community. Do you know what I
Are
mean?
you?
Because some people.
Yeah. Are you opposition? Is there anything that you specifically disagree with?
No, I just wanted to try and piece together what he was talking about. It was
gotcha.
giving me a headache.
Yeah,
So,
I know, I
yeah.
can, but I get it. But I am looking for
Um,
opposition, though. So let me go and bring it back down to the comments. But I appreciate you
Yes.
coming on up. Take care, okay? Leave that kissing fast. Let me find somebody to raid because I'll probably be wrapping this up here pretty shortly, to be honest. Who is live that we can raid? Hector. We're gonna raid Hector Talks, and I swear to God, if you guys tell me that he's finishing up his live, I swear to God if you say that. I'm sorry. Sorry, Turtle. No, is it Turtle? Turtle? Yeah, Turtle. All right. Anyways, let's raid Hector. Sorry if you just joined. But I should be live at some point tomorrow. If you enjoyed the live, follow myself and Mitra. I appreciate the Venmos, the Cash Apps, the gifts, follows, the taps, the shares. Mitra, anything you want to say?
No, thank you for having me up, and thank you everybody for all the gifts. I appreciate you guys.
Absolutely, Mitra. Make sure you guys give Mitra a follow, okay? All right, go ahead and join Hector Talks live. He's streaming right now. Again, if he's going to be ending, sorry. But that's who we're going to be rating, all right? But I hope everybody has a really good night, and I will see you guys all at some point tomorrow. Take care.